Hello and welcome to this pro guide for 94Y, the new Soviet division with Landjut. So it's a mechanized close-range tank division with some late-game options. Yeah, I am a high-rank player, so you should listen to me. These top five are all my alts, right? They're all my alt accounts. Anyway, this is going to work the same way it does for all the other ones. So I'm going to explain what the division is and what it does, how it works. Then I'm going to go through every single unit in great detail in the deck review, why it's there, what it does, how it synergizes with the other units. And then I'm going to go into a series of examples of me playing against other high-level players and, just walking you through what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, because that's honestly the best way to learn. So if you appreciate this video, thanks for appreciating the video. And I, of course, should shill about the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They got this video early. They get the videos early. They get the names on the screen. They get members exclusive videos. And they're the ones who make videos like this possible. Otherwise, it just wouldn't be economically viable for me to do this. Instead, I would just have 10 separate videos of me playing 94Y rather than one where you can just learn everything about the division, right? Because I'd be like trying to maximize ad revenue basically. So what is 94Y? It's sort of a bad version of 20th East German, which is in the same DLC, but we'll get through why that is. Essentially, this division is kind of slow, but it has a bunch of it's got a lot of helicopter gunships, right? But it doesn't have airborne forward deployment. And it doesn't have long-range AA, unlike a lot of packed divs. It doesn't have cubs, it gets OSAs. So you get these tanks, which are pretty good in the early game. And those tanks are here, the T-64A and the other T-64A. But the tanks don't have the maximum range. You only have one tank with the maximum range. You only have two tank with the maximum range. Two cards of tanks with the maximum. Sorry. Most of your tanks don't have good range, right? So the idea is early game, you're kind of blobbing with a bunch of these T-64s, and they're backed up by two vet OSAs. And, Razvedka BMP1s, Razvedka Saperi, maybe this Recon Helo. The point is the bomber comes to kill the T-64A. It's got 3 top armor, so it might survive. If it's an AT missile, the AT missile can one-shot this, so just keep that in mind and keep it smoked, right? But your two vet OSAs should kill that bomber. You get 5 of these tanks in a card. He gets 2 bombers in a card. This is cheaper than the bomber. So you should still be winning if you revenge kill that bomber. And the idea is you get your T-64As and your OSAs and your little blob, and you just blob into a zone, right, near the start of the game. You need to keep the engagements close range, right? The game can sort of go anywhere from there. You don't want to, then I blob into the next zone, but then I blob into the next zone. Unlike 6th West German, where it's like that, this div is slightly different. You actually kind of want to be fighting an attritional battle in one place, rather than going all over the place. Because your tanks can win close-range engagements. They've got a lot of armor, right? And then, you flood the gap with grenade launchers, BMPs, and you just want to attrit. And then slowly grind your way through it, right? You have these coffin launchers to deal with nasty infantry, so these are like mine clearance devices. Can you see my cursor? There it is. And, you've got these rocket planes for sniping stuff in the early game, the HE cluster for the mid to late game. The AT plane is kind of bad, but generally these planes come out towards the end, and this rocket plane comes out at the start. And yeah, you just want to sort of attack somebody in a close-range place and just beat the crap out of him for the whole game, right? Grab him by the belt and punch him. Was there something about dodging artillery in Vietnam or something? Anyway, so yeah, we'll go through the deck, and the examples will show you, right, how I'm playing, what's happening, right? So, 2 40-point CVs. So the reason why you bring this is because you know, 2 of these for basically the price of this. So you buy 2 Potocs at the start, and then you're not too far behind on the points because, you know, you're capping all the zones. Then we have 3 cards of supply. The big one, this is for your grad, and that's why there's 3 cards of supply. The Ural and the cheap one, right? So big, fast, small.
Sorry, I'm recording this at 2:15 a.m., so I have to keep it down. I don't want to disturb my neighbours who are sleeping. But what doesn't sleep is my love for the generous channel joiners generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. They also get a Steam key for my game Hearse Hero, which is on Steam. Check out my game Hearse Hero, which is on Steam. Wow, it's absolutely nothing like Warno whatsoever. What kind of moron would make a game that's completely different?
Then moving into the infantry tab, so in terms of CVs, right, 2, 4, 6 CVs. These are infantry CVs, so you can either get 7 dudes with RPG and smoke, 4 dudes with RPG and smoke, or 4 dudes just with RPG. So the reason I go for the 7 dudes RPG and smoke, even though it comes in a helicopter, is because I'm buying 2 of these at the start. So I shouldn't need this immediately. This is more of like a later on in the game kind of problem. This card is super, super nice. Like, your infantry's good. You win attritional fights because your tanks are close range, you've got the coffin launchers, you've got the grad. This is mainly for counter battery. You'll see it in the examples. And you've got these 14-man squads, the Saperi RPOs, the grenade launchers, right? And yeah, the reason I bring this at 2 vet is because it's so expensive that, you know, you don't buy that many. And, you know, this has 20% ECM. But you don't have any helicopters with ATGMs. So if the enemy kind of breaks through somewhere, you do have a big problem, actually. Because, yeah, you can chuck this at it, but you're quite vulnerable to divs that are just like, oh, I'm going around the side. You are quite vulnerable to that. But against divs like 2Y, which is super popular, I keep coming up against 2Y, this div, you can just punch them really hard in the early game, and they should go down, because your tanks are cheaper than theirs, and they fire faster than their T-72s. So, but their tanks are more armoured, but the point is, you get more tanks out at the start, you're fighting this attritional battle, in the early game you should win that attritional battle. But again, yeah, against lighter divs, you do kind of struggle. If they outmaneuver you, you do kind of struggle. And that's where this unit comes in. So you buy quite a few of these at the start, because it's 45-point recon infantry with a 45-point... Like, this thing is really quite cheap for what it is. It's got mediocre stealth, and it's got, you know, anti-tank, 3 armor, some anti-infantry ability, not a huge amount. But the point is that this, because of the mediocre stealth and the ATGM and the smoke and the 3 armor, for 45 points, in the early game, this can lock down a sector, and the infantry, you know, is there as well to just waste time, right? To shoot the vehicles as they come past and so on. So reasonably easy to lock down sectors with this. But obviously, if somebody like blobs straight into that sector, you're going to have a rough time. Then we got some Razvedka Saperi, who... you know, this is... I should be starting in the infantry tab. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. So I only have 1 card of BMP2s because I prefer the early game aggression with the BMP1s. Because this is 100 points, and this is, you know, this is 160, but this is 170 and so on. So if you were to buy a BMP2 with the infantry, you would only be able to buy this tank in that minute. Whereas you can get, you know, 2 of these out for 150... and then you can buy, well, you know, you can get like 3 of these out a minute, basically, if you want, and then some supply or whatever. It just helps you keep the momentum going. And the BMP1, Unspeakable 1, it stays behind the tanks, and then when the tanks are engaged, the BMP1 is suppressing the enemy armor by shooting the ATGMs at it, even if it doesn't hit. So this is your early game thing. As the game goes later, you switch into the BMP2s. Moto Strelky Metis is great as well because it's in a wheeled vehicle and you can use the BTR-60s. You'll see this in the example. I'm like going around the side shooting mortars and stuff like that. This is just cheap infantry to you know, lock down a sector, right? If somebody's pushing me, I can get this out reasonably fast. And it's got nice AT, right? That's another thing. RPG 22, 15, 15, 15, 17, 18. So this is for the RPG, right? Saperi RPO for winning infantry fights with the RPO. And then, yeah, the Conkers, just, standard ATGM things. And the grenade launcher for, if you fight on factory or something, you can win because you've got massive squads, RPOs, grenade launchers, coffin launchers, which brings us to the arty tab. So the grad, you could theoretically, I mean, if this was 4-3-2, whatever, but the reason I bring the grad is for counter battery. And if it goes late in these attritional fights, it actually does become useful. But generally, the way this arty rework seems to work now is... so yeah, you want a CV next to this. So the two Potocs, they go and cap all the zones. And then there'll be one in the contested zone in the middle. And then the other one will come back and sit with the grad. And the grad will... you just leave it on counter battery. Like, you don't really buy it at the start, right? You start off with mortars and a couple of these, and then as the enemy counter battery starts happening, you get the grad. And yeah, this is your coffin launcher for cleaning out infantry in difficult environments. Like, this is a very nice attritional div because you've got the... Yeah, I've been over it. So the tanks, this is a cool CV tank because... Like, so I can pay 60 points more for more range. Okay, great. But none of my other tanks can shoot at that range. And one more pen because of the way it scales with the range. And yeah, more accuracy. But the point is, my early game tanks have this range. And so, the CV tank having the same range makes sense because you want to keep them all relatively close to each other. And it's 60 points for that range. It's crazy. It's not worth it. Both of them will die to a Conker's side shot. Both of them will die to a 30 AP missile from the front. So what's the point? And then the tanks, basically, these are in the opposite order to how you should buy them. So you buy these first, right? And then you're buying these. And then you're buying these, which have more range. The pen is the same because of the way the pen scales with the range. This can survive a Conker's side shot and a 30 AP missile, plane missile. Because of the ERA, it's got 11 HP, which means that it survives those, whereas these have 10. And then this is, as the game's going late, or if you end up in a, like Vertigo dual attritional battle or whatever, then you get these out because they've got the range and they've got the ATGM. But generally, the idea is focus around close range engagements with this lot. You can use the mortars to close the range and so on. And if you get Albion military-based duel, I guess you just cry, I suppose. Although, no, there is a game with it. I'll show you how it goes. BRDM2 Conkers for going around the side, and for flank defense, and what have you. Recon, we've been over this. Super, super useful unit. And these guys are the guys that get into the fight first, because this goes at 100. This would go at 90, right? So you need to bring it in this one. They get to the fight first, so you don't lose too much ground at the start. There's a lot of enemy openers where you can just open with one of these and just kill the enemy forward deployed because they haven't bothered to buy AA to protect their forward deployment. A good player would buy AA, right? And then the reason you get this instead of this is because this goes with your tank, so your tanks can see. And it's got 3 armor and smoke, so even though this is the better card overall, you need this for your tanks because of the exceptional optics. Whereas you do have BTR 60 PBs that can sort of fill this role. I mean, it would be great to bring this. It's just the opportunity cost. Which brings us to the AA tab. So you'll be like, man, that's a lot of AA. Well, I ended up against 101st Airborne in one of these games. And since the patch, these no longer reliably kill helicopters. I was like not killing 4 HP helicopters with this. And so it's one of the examples. Yeah. And so this was an adaptation to that you're getting the crap beaten out of you by helicopters. So the reason the OSAs are at 2 there, I mean, you could be like, oh, we'll get rid of this, and then you can bring the BRDM2s. Yes, but the whole point is you need to make sure that that bomber that comes and kills your tank dies. Because if it doesn't, it's going to come back again and again and again, and you're going to lose. So you have to make sure that you get it. And that's why we've got two vet Osas and one vet Breuser, right? And then we've got the Iglas for, you know, closer range anti-helo. Because, yeah, helicopters are really kind of the bane of your division because these tanks aren't that fast. And, yeah, you know, side shots are going to kill them and so on. And so they always hit your blob with planes and helicopters. So this is very important. And then air. So 2 cards of the MiG-29s. This one's actually better because unless this hits the first missile, which admittedly it does quite a lot, has it always gone that far? I guess so. 8475? Yes, it has. I need more sleep. So, unless this hits with the first missile, right, both of these are fire and forget. So it gets both of them off before the merge. So I think, although, you know, depending on how fast the enemy planes are going, this is going to get 2 of these off before the merge as well, and it's got more range. So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, yeah, this is longer range, this is shorter range. Just keep that in mind. This is a high altitude bomber, so it tends to be for kind of later game plays. This is for later game plays as well. I'll be honest, it's kind of pants. It's just, what else would you bring? You could bring the Seed if you want, but the Seed, you know, the only reason to bring the Seed would be to assist this bomber. So, because like this is a rocket plane, the idea is later on in the game this goes in front of this anyway because it's cheaper and you care about it less. So that's the sacrificial plane anyway, so you don't need a Seed, if that makes sense. And yeah, this is for just sniping tanks towards the end of the game. I mean, sometimes you can bring it out in the mid-game, but generally the enemy AA is going to hit you because the range isn't great, the accuracy isn't great, but it's cheap, right? If you were to bring... because the point is this drops from high altitude, and I'm pretty sure both of these do as well. And so the enemy, if he has a brain, he's never going to lose a tank to this. If he's good at the game, like really good, okay, he'll just always move out the way because it drops from so high, you can move out the way. This, he's got less of a chance against, even though it misses a lot. So it's not fire and forget, it's sack loss, so it struggles to get 2 missiles off before it passes them. You'll see in the examples. And then, yeah, the rocket plane. So, just to summarize, right, open with two vet Osas, these guys for the flanks, and then, yeah, a BRM-1K, these guys for, you know, holding ground, and maybe one of this combination for your tank blob, this for your tank blob, these for your tank blob, and then 2 or 3 of these. In some cases, you'll see instead of one of these, it's a command tank, and you can early game aggression into heavier divs. You've got a pretty good advantage, actually. Into lighter divs, you do struggle in that they will punish your lack of width. So let's see some examples. As you can probably tell from the changes to my facial hair, I've revisited this. I recorded some of it, and now I've come back to it like a little bit later. And essentially the grad, so they basically they keep changing the kind of setup and move times for like self-propelled stuff, and the grad kept the old time, not the new time for stuff like the Acacia. So I've actually taken the grad out now because I've noticed more recently that it's not reliably killing these self-propelled howitzers anymore. If you've got the CV next to it and it's close, it can still do it, and it's already set up, but otherwise they just move. And so what I've done instead, because I've noticed I was running out of infantry recon, or recon in general, is I've put this in, and the plan now is to just send that round the side and snipe the RT. You don't have to do it that way, right? You can, because most RT has like direct fire, and they just kill you. You gotta be careful. So maybe send 2, right? But basically you could also just bring 4 of these, like 4 more of these, and just have 8 of them, and then that will also solve a lot of problems, but it costs a lot to buy them all. Or you could, instead of this, you could bring this, and then you've got ground surveillance radar, right? And you would probably bring that at... Well, if you just want it for the radar, you'd bring it at 1 vet, or even no vet, if it's just for the radar. So yeah, there's different things you can do. I just wanted to add that. Right, so this is the first example, and I'm playing against Integer on 2 US, so second US division. He's trying something a bit weird. He's gonna like rush me with a bunch of guys and smoke, and he wants to try and get in here. This division, right, I assumed he was gonna heli rush, so I bought a bit more AA than I would need, because he usually heli rushes, but now he knows that I know that he heli rushes, he doesn't heli rush and all this, so he's obviously not heli rushed, so I've overbought AA, but obviously I can't know that until it is what it is. Anyway, the idea is, look, these tanks, they have the minimum range gun, okay? So if I fight here, I can't shoot him, right? I literally can't shoot him, unless I come all the way out in the open and get hit by a TOW2. So I'm not going to fight here. I'm going to fight here. Because, like, so he doesn't have airborne forward deployment either, so I'm going to get to this building first. Now, if he did have airborne forward deployment and he got to here, that would be a big issue, because I'd sort of have to try and push him out, right? And then, by the time I get here, he might have attacked here or something, but generally, as a strategy, this works for this div on this map. But you do have problems if the enemy's got airborne forward deployment and you don't. He's going to take this. Back to the point about 20th Mottschutzen just kind of being a better version of the same thing, because 20th Mottschutzen has airborne forward deployed at 100 kilometers an hour, so you would get to here at the same time as the enemy in most cases. Anyway, I'm really not sure what he was... He was like trying to smoke this so that he could rush in, so that's why all these guys are chilling out in the open. But we move across to the side. Like, he's a good player, that's why I've included the game. I mean, I don't think his strategy is particularly fantastic here, but, he's trying something new. So his idea is smoke this and then run all these small teams in. And he's trying to push me here, but I actually wanted to push here anyway, so that's something. The assault men, they've got 19 pen, so they would kill these tanks pretty fast. But yeah, like, this is a really weird game, actually. Maybe I shouldn't have included it. Most people don't play like this, but my general strategy is fairly straightforward. I want to push to Leonid if I can, and if not, stop here and push left into the zone. Because if I push this way... So yeah, I bought the rocket plane early because I know his AA is not great, and the Stingers, because I was so close, they don't hit properly and stuff like that. So okay, so now he's coming in here, and the smoke is sufficient that I can't really... But yeah, I'm trying to run through the smoke to hit him. So my strategy makes perfect sense, basically. I want to push into mid and Leonid and just sort of defend here. Now, there is an issue with this strategy, which is that if somebody just pushes me this way, then I'm going to lose all this, and then I'm really going to struggle to get back in. So just keep that in mind, that's it, because basically I played a game as part of a tournament series, so I want that to be in a separate video, basically, where I played 94th, and somebody was playing forward deployment, and they got here, and then while I was sorting this out, they pushed this zone, and then it was like, oh, now I'm kind of screwed because I can't get anywhere, but this usually works. This is a good way of putting it. So, we blobbed our way in with the, the BRM-1K for the exceptional optics, 2 T-64As, BTR-60PB. Man. And, yeah, this is a really bad first example. You might just be watching this like 5th or something, if I remember. It's just not a good example, it just should be here. Oh, man. Because most people don't play like this, right? Do you see what I mean? Like, he's just left the entire map open. There should at least be a machine gun team here. But, you know, generally the execution is working well. The Potok is getting into Leonid. There are time stamps in the description, so you could skip to the whatever. Yeah, you actually kill something with the mortars. Mortars kill things now. And so I get in here, and then I want to push sign. But you are very open to somebody just... Oh yeah, and I send the BTR-60 round the side to kill the mortars. I've got a MiG-29 up to protect this from planes, right? Because the OSAs don't have the range, really. This is another reason why 20th Motschutzen's just a better version of the same thing, because it gets the same tank for the early game aggression, with airborne forward deployment and with Cubs. So, I don't think it gets that rocket plane, though, which is very nice. So, this is probably not very intelligent, given that those Stingers just killed me, but I figured they'll be reloading. And they were. I mean, obviously one hit me. Oh, and now I'm flying over the rest. Well. But yeah, this is scuffed. This is a completely scuffed game. But it was on the list that I made of examples. And so I'm going through the list. There's a lot of items on this list. Anyway. So, yeah, he's trying to blob me back here, but, you know, at close range my tanks are good. So you see, I'm not just sticking it here to get shot by a TOW-2. Having it on the side. Thing is, this has 23 pen, so it's reasonably good at stopping me. So I'm getting pushed out, but I'm also, you know, I'm going for mid, so if I lose this, it's not a big problem. These recon helos are, it's like a recon attack helo. It's fairly decent at dealing with these guys, but, you know, if you go too close to him, you have to right-click him to get out. The BTR-60 did a lot of work. And yeah, we're not expecting to hold on to this, so you see I've unloaded some guys in flanking positions here, and I'm pushing for mid, which is a +2. So at this point I've realised that there's nobody on Anna. I did think there were guys there, but he literally put nobody here, so the recon helo being expensive is an issue. If it was cheaper, you know, you get one out and just fling it over there and figure out there's nobody there that much faster. So... yeah, now we're taking mid, and he ends up surrendering because this push just gets, like, yeah, so these rocket guys, like, you know, this is quite an easy way to just reinforce a point. I mean, it's not cheap, you got to make sure that it's not, you know, I've got the, I know I've got air superiority, like, he's not bought any planes, and I've got the OSA and so on, so, and I knew there was no AA in there, right? But yeah, you can reinforce with helicopters, which is nice. The thing is, 20th Motschutzen can do that as well. And I think, yeah, it was when I killed that, he was like, well, you know, this is not going so well. Yeah, an interesting example for sure, but I've recorded it now. I mean, he's rank 40, so he's high rank, right? I've been playing a lot recently. But yeah, you get the idea behind what I was going for there. Let's move on. Right, so this is the first example. It's Hippie versus REYAND on Eiche. Eiche, excellent map for this division, because the whole point is you blob Dimitri, right? And you just hold here. You can just give this up. This doesn't matter. You'll notice I'm not even going there. It's a +1. If I win Dimitri, I get a +2. And then I can, you know, fight for Elena, and I can worry about this later. If you take Dimitri and you get to here, well, it kind of gets quite hard for them to resupply this while you're fighting around here. You're a narrow div, right? Not as narrow as, like, say, 3rd Armoured, but you're a packed slop narrow div. You don't have Cubs, so you can't fight over here anyway, because he'll just use a plane on you, right? Your stuff's expensive. So REYAND, he's like rank 100 or something. He's playing Marine, so forward deployed CVs. He gets everywhere first. Alright, I didn't know about that at the time. I guess these were going to come down here, and it doesn't really matter because I'm not going for it, but that's a bit weird. So, yeah, he's high rank, he's a good player. I don't know what's going on there. But you see, you know, he's getting everywhere first, but got the Razvedka Saperi so that I don't lose too much ground, right? Got to watch out for these forward deployed SPG-9s, because they can one-shot your guys in the transport, so that's why I unload that. This, I think no, I get that right as well. So, yeah, the range is the same, so I can't actually get out of the range while shooting, so I just choose to get out of the range. I'd rather be alive, frankly. Waiting for the grenade launcher to show up, because that'll deal with this quite quickly. These are 3-man squads now. They're actually worth bringing, the SPG-9s. The other ones generally aren't. I thought he'd get here first with his forward deployment, so that's why I unloaded here, used the BMP-1 to support my advance. He's got 2,800 meter range ATGMs. I brought the coffin launcher instead of the OSAs. The reason this example is here is so that you understand why that might be a bad idea. So here we are with our 3 tanks without AA, right? Doesn't take a genius to figure this out. Double Potok opener, defensive conkers. I need to start putting something here. Somebody came around here once and I lost, so like this doesn't actually cover that. Anyway, the SPG-9s are dying to the blob. His tanks literally can't stand against me. I've got 3 good tanks and they're vetted by a CV, so these are literally at 3 vet. I was bringing them at 2 vet at the time. I think I ended up down vetting those, so because it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, this was one of the first games I played, so the point is you're learning from my mistakes, right? So here comes the bomber, and I can't even see this because I don't have any AA. So you can't actually see the plane if you don't have AA. So, you know, use your brain, right? Oh, no, I can see it now. now that it's too late to do anything. No, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it until it dropped the bombs. So I try and move, and I lose all 3 tanks, right? So instead of this UR, instead of, you know, one of these other units, maybe something here, right? Instead of it being a CV tank, like it could just be 2 tanks and 2 OSAs, because that was AIDS. And I appreciate that the UR is killing everything, but like I shouldn't really be in any hurry here. My div outscales his quite well. Like his tanks have mega range, but my tanks just beat his in a 1v1. And there aren't, you know, as long as I'm playing around the hill with the smoke mortar, he can't use the mega range, which is why I'm smoking. So, you know. So that was really dumb of me, right? He's woken up here. I should have had... yes, so you see I'm putting blocking units here so that he doesn't sneak the BRDM2s around. But yeah, watch out for this. This is a really big problem. So even if you've got a unit here, people can come all the way down here and still get around you and behind you. It's very frustrating. So you see I'm panicking and I'm buying the rocket helo, right? The games get better as I play more, right? So the whole point is that you're learning as I'm learning. So yeah, this coffin launch is super useful on this map because of the indirect ability to, like, it already wasted 2 infantry units and I can just keep doing that. We land because we see the Iglas, but I guess that makes us susceptible to the T-55's gun, but he's running away, which is good. And yeah, BMP-1 beats BRDM-2 because of the ATGM and the armor. And I get a BTR-60 around the side. Like, this is going very well for me. His early game is when he's strongest. So he buys another bomber, and he's got this switched off and everything. I do have the games played to make a Marine guide, I just haven't recorded it yet. A Soviet Marine guide, the American one's already out, so... I do have the games played, like I played a lot of games. So you see I'm buying the OSAs, they're not at 2 vet yet, right? This is me learning. I'm learning, oh, it got out, and now that's going to come back again, so gotta be ready for these things. That should have just ran straight away. So yeah, we're very much playing from behind. But yeah, I guess he thinks there's somebody down here. So I just drive the CV out, like it's not the end of the world if, you know, if we lose ground. We're a late game div, so... As you can see, he does 2 damage to me and I do like 6 to him or something, so... It's all good, right? He could trick me here by switching off the gun to fire his ATGM. In one of the later examples, I'm playing against a... And look, another coffin launcher's mega useful, right? But yeah, I'm playing it too much like a lighter div, right? But there was nobody here, so I pushed here. It's, you know, you do have to adapt. You can't just be like, well, I'm not good at this, therefore, you know. So I'm using what assets were already here to take this. So we're getting the CV in. And, yeah, I'm about to get a +2, so... He bought too many planes, basically, so that doesn't help him. The BMP-1 will slowly kill that, because it outranges it, for starters, right? So now we've got a +2 in here. This isn't the usual way to play the div, it's just, you know, I'm showing you how to play, and This rocket plane, though, that is the usual way to use this. This is like these are too cheap, frankly. The one with 4 big rockets as well, they should all cost more because it's got 30% ECM and 10 HP, and it can kill helicopters, although not as well as it used to. So they're very, very good at sniping these exposed positions. And his AA is crap anyway, as his division. So yeah, we're just we're keeping up the smoke. I mean, I just gave that like a bunch of orders. I'm starting to get the tanks out now. I got the ATGM one because, you know, I'm shooting from far away. He did hit me there. This does have recon, but I'm in the forest, so I don't think he sees me. So if I, you know, because yeah. If I hadn't been hit by that ATGM, he'd be dead, but he's dead anyway. Wahey! So the planes come back. This is back to the point about you should definitely make sure they die. You can dodge these by like fast moving down roads and stuff. Same with the high altitude one that I get. So they're really not as amazing as people think. It's just they don't react properly to it, and you know they get surprised. So trying to get around the AA while still getting these. So I'm coming around the sides. But you can see it's going very, very well for me. I know I don't have points, but if my division's better late than his, and the tick is even 9 minutes into the game, although you know this could be going better. So we do lose that. So yeah, this is very scrappy. Flying over the AA. Learn from my mistakes, dear viewer. That's the point. As you go through these examples, like the later ones. Because they're basically in the order that I played them, so the play gets a lot better. It gets a lot better. So now I can get back in here, and yeah, this was when I was bringing the seed. It was a complete waste of time. This is why I don't bring the seed anymore. So Potok 2 is in, and yeah, he can't really contest me in mid because the tanks just waste all his guys. And you've got the exceptional optics with the tank, otherwise the tank can't see anything until it gets into AT range. He does kind of struggle with anyway. He's counter pushing me here, so I buy at some point I buy a BRDM whatever. That's a HE bomber, so it doesn't. But the OSAs aren't vetted, right? So I saw that guy, but he saw that I was about to shoot him, so he moved. But so I got too close here. You see BMP 1s, not BMP 2s, because I can buy more of them faster and still get stuff out. OSA's coming down here. Like I just got him on the trades, basically, even with that horrible mistake at the start. MiG-29 beats MiG-23, and now he can't use his bombers anymore because I've basically got air superiority, and so we can slowly kill all the bombers, and we fly over the AA because we're very stupid, but now we've taken center, which isn't in the center, and he's like not got a kill in like 2 minutes or something. So if those guys hadn't died at the start, this all would have happened 10 minutes earlier. But I had to remass because everybody died. So you know, yeah, and you see the OSAs to stop him from dropping the bombs, and MiG-29s to stop him from dropping the bombs, or avenge the tanks. Usually the bombs get off, and yeah, he calls it. So. You know, it was a game filled with mistakes, but he's rank 30. He's rank 30. It was lower when I played him. It was like 100. So clearly a very good player, and it's gone down recently as well. So next example. Right, so here we are against a division which excels at you know, going around the sides, right, beating me everywhere. He's going to get everywhere before me because he's got the Delta Force. Although he's brought them at the wrong vet, so they only go at 120 instead of 130. He's pretty high ranked from what I remember. We'll see at the end. So he's going to get everywhere first. He wants to play wide. I want to play narrow. So we got to take it slow, right? So looking at what we brought, recon picket line. Each of these units is 2 units because of the BTR-60s and the BMP-1s. So look how defensive I am with this. Unload the infantry, unload the vehicle, you know, stop the vehicle. So, same on this side. I'm being very defensive, because I know he can get everywhere before me. Same here. I did buy the helicopter, right, but he opened Eagle to prevent that from happening. And even still, like, he should open with 3 of these, really, so that he can hit the, you know, whatever. He can protect his deltas with 3 of these. You don't really need the Eagle. either way, this was, I guess, a mistake, because you'd expect him to have something to stop that. But, you know, since the changes, right, they don't just immediately explode anymore. So this has Hellfires on it, so I end up having to unload early. This one, I think I press unload and it doesn't, No, I get out. It's in a separate game. So I'm trying to bait him into the Osas, which are now at 2-vet. And sadly they both miss, but that's life, innit? And yeah, so he beats me here. I could have reacted in time there, right? This is a learning experience. It's not a hippie dabs on everybody experience, right? So, should I have bought the MiG-29? Probably not. I thought there was just one Eagle, but he's bought another one now, which means he's got no reinforcements coming. But neither have I. So yeah, he gets in here before me, but he's not got anybody in mid, but he's getting in here before me. So I opened 2 Potocs, and I had the CV tank instead of the regular tank. But I mispathed it. It should have gone down center instead of Boris. So, dealing with mistakes is a big part of playing this game. So I can't buy the Rocket Helo to sort this out because he's got the Eagle up. And, you know, there's actually nobody here, which we're about to find out. Landed this and got the supply. These are really good against helicopters at close range because of the 50 cal. So bye. And the Delta here died to the Osa. Sorry, the Delta Humvee died to the Osa. You see I've got the BTR-60 here just to make sure nobody... I mean, it should be here, really, because then it can shoot, but, you know, it's basically like a tripwire. It's probably going to die, but then I know somebody's there. So he's still coming for this Potok. He's chasing it with the Humvee Delta. I'm in a very, very sticky situation here. But he's making mistakes as well. Like, he hasn't capped these 2 zones, so... He's only on a +3, despite the fact that I opened 3 CVs, which was probably a bit much, but... Yeah, I had like 40 points, and so I just upgraded this into that for 40 points, so it's worth it. What else could I have bought? I could have downgraded this for a cheaper supply. That would have given me 65 points, right? Because I'd say 15 on this and 40 on that, so that's 55, not 65. And my cheapest unit is 60, the Motor Strelky with the grenade launcher, with the transport. So yeah, you see the advantage of this, and I know like if he comes for this, the Osas are in the way, so you know that's why that's doing that, because he can't really get to it. This is next to the CV. I'm using the mortar. I mean, it's not doing a huge amount, but I got mid because he didn't really put anybody there. So yeah, very crazy game, this one. A bit of a weird one. Do let me know. I mean, obviously it's like, wow, here's a game where I win. Here's a game where I win easily. And so you don't learn anything. But you see I'm slowly killing the Eagles as they fly over the Osas. Yeah. So this gets routed because this has a full power sniper, so it deals 100 suppression per shot. But I know that I can just run this into him. And the Carl Gustav won't do much damage to me, so... I guess it takes me a second to figure that out. The rocket plane, great for sniping these isolated units, right? But generally, against a lighter div, you're just going to be in a weaker position at the start. That's just the way it goes, right? So yeah, we're sniping the Delta, because we know there's, you know, not too much AA here, because the MiG-29s haven't been getting shot, this hasn't been shot, and so on. We got the Briusa because we couldn't afford the Osa. And I needed something for the helicopters. So, yeah, we get mid, because, you know, he can't be everywhere. These units aren't that cheap. And we're getting Anna back now. We're capping center. So what looked like, oh my god, I've lost. I'm on a -3. Well, it's all showing up. So he kills that. The Briusa wounds him, and then this didn't quite kill him. But he's going to be down for a while, right? And now I saw this and I was like, okay, well there are 2 of me. So he's diving me, so I have to go. But these 3 Stinger things, and then he hit the first missile, hit the second missile, but... Or, you know, well, yeah, he only fired 2 and he hit both, so that's live, it happens, right? But at least we know the Eagles are down now. So yeah, the Delta's still coming round, and he ends up getting this. But we know the Eagles are down, and we're going to sort this out, which is going to put me on a +1, actually. Until he gets in Dimitri. So speed it up a bit. Just trying to come back from failure. This is an important lesson. You are learning. You are learning, right? And yeah, just check the description for all the other examples, right? If this doesn't jive with you, then just watch another one. This was going really well, and then it ran out of ammo, and then the Apache just killed it. So, don't run out of ammo. There's a supply here, so yeah, that was just bad tactical management from me. I should have been like, okay, it's only got a few missiles, it might miss a bunch and then die, and that's what happened, so yeah, I saw he'd killed this, so I'm sending in the Dush. Of course, there are issues with Ravens and stuff, but, you know, with 20% ECM... sorry, not Ravens, Eagles. I don't know why he's bought that. So yeah, you can get to places, and I've got a lot of fighters up and a lot of AA up, so I'm confident in buying this helicopter, basically. Although, you know, this only has one bullet, so maybe I shouldn't be too confident. So we'll speed it up a bit, because, yeah, I'm waiting to see this Delta so that I can hit it with the rocket plane. The VADS melts my MI-8, so I shoot the VADS with the rocket thing so that I can't do that again. I didn't realise he'd actually just ran away and come round. That's really interesting. But, yeah, the idea behind the double potok is that you can get to places. And look, he has to go repair again. So I can use that rocket plane again. So, yeah, I don't know where in here he is, and that's why I unloaded early. I didn't want the Delta to shoot me again. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I'd lost the BTR-60. So that's why it was there. It was a tripwire unit. I got it for free with a, you know, with an infantry that I needed, so yeah, we're using the rocket guys to winning air superiority over 101st Airborne isn't something that usually happens, but it has happened, and so now we're using that advantage. So this doesn't have AT, but the Delta Humvee kills a BTR-60 apparently. So, and I couldn't shoot this. I was right-clicking it, and nothing was happening. Okay, there we go. I got it. So yeah, he's bleeding out doing this. You know, he's like, oh, I'm getting points, but it's not really worth it for him, because I'm definitely winning on the trades at this point. So that now he comes in over here again, but I've got the helicopters, so I did end up seeing this because of this guy, which wasn't quite in the building, but there it is. Trying to find the Delta. Okay, not sure what's going on there, just went straight past it. Alright. It's life, I guess. So now he's trying to attack me in mid, and I've got, you know, I've got a tank, I've got Razvedka Saperi just to buy time. You know, we're using the helicopters and so on. Ooh, he got a point. He's on a tick. Doesn't matter. He's trading hilariously badly. Still trying to kill this. It's a big squad, and it ends up sort of really messing me up. But yeah, I've got the Potok here, so I'm just gonna get that back. Like, I miss. And then this, like, it ends up losing. I can't remember if it dies or not. Oh, yeah, this guy's shooting at me now. And you see, did you see that, right? Since the change, right, that would never happen before. 4 HP didn't die to this thing, strafing it and shooting the missile. So if the missile misses, it survives. So that's something, like, 101st Airborne is really good now since that change. And it was good before that change, so, you know, that's life. So yeah, this one makes it. And then, yes, try again, right? Get him with the missile this time. So, yeah, helicopters are a lot better now. So just keep that in mind. 101st Airborne, very, very, very scary, dude. So, yeah, we're using the mortars around here, and you see it's actually doing something. One mortar, super, super useful. So he starts buying all this RT and so on. And it's like mega vetted, so it can immediately counter battery me. It's 10-second aim time. We got the 3 vet OSA, but it misses. 70% accuracy, not enough. And yeah, I didn't know about this, honestly, at that point. I assumed that I got it because I flew over that and I just didn't see it. So healing up the helos, and now we're fighting in a place where I'm comfortable. Right, BTR-60 saves me from that artillery barrage. Although the ATAS gets it, but the Saperi survived. 3 vet OSA, misses again. And yeah, I prioritize my own survival over chasing that Apache, which I think is sensible. I'm in a pretty good position here. I'm on a +1. There's 26 minutes left, and I'm the heavier div, so it's looking pretty good now from how horrible it was looking at the start, which is a recurring theme with this division. So, yeah. Rocket plane's out, but he'd moved, so I missed. So that was dumb of me, because the Eagles, I haven't actually been killing them, so they're all up now, because they've all come back. So I end up losing at least one plane, and I assumed my AA would, so I only lost one. And he lost one Eagle coming back over this Osa and Igla, because he was just flying over the Osas, so that was a good bait, to be honest. One Eagle for one rocket thing. Take that trade any day. So I'm attacking Gregory. I don't know if that's optimum given my division, but I had a bunch of units here because he was attacking here, so they are now just moving forwards, right? It's not me deliberately attacking Gregory. Although, well, I'm sending a couple. I'm just a greedy player, I suppose. I'm too used to playing lighter divs, right? So you see these 105s, they shoot really fast, but yeah, he's got a lot of artillery. And rocket plane, pretty useful piece of kit. He's really struggling here against, you know, the tanks. Rocket plane goes down to, you know, he had a chaparral and so on, so. And yeah, these Delta Force Humvees, man. Pretty good. I already used the piece of kit phrase today, so. But yeah, his rank was pretty high. From what I remember, his rank was pretty high, so. Yeah, 101st is really strong now, because like the artillery comes pre-vetted. So the aim times are just crazy when you put CVs next to them. It's a 9.3 second aim time. It's less than 10 seconds from the fight starting to that thing shooting at me, so. Yeah. Do I buy the grad at this point? I can't remember when I start gradding them. So we'll speed it up a bit. And yeah. The helos are really good now. You struggle against these helos now, because you can't just plane them anymore with all the SU-22s, which is what used to happen, so. That 2-vet Osa, sadly hits me there. And you know, I had the Briusa, so you'd expect me to win that eventually. Right, so do you understand why he's using the EW plane now? But look at that, I missed, and then he just beat me with the Apache when I was an Osa, so. And it was a 2-vet Osa, so. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. And then the 50 cal gets him, because he didn't run away, so. Great. So the point of the EW plane is that it shows enemy AA, enemy radar AA. It doesn't shoot it, but it shows it like a seaplane would. And then he hits it with all the RT. So his plan is to kill all my AAs so that he can use his helicopters. And I'm particularly vulnerable to that because of how I built my deck. So, you know, you could swap it out for Strela 10Ms. Like, if your radar control isn't good, right, then feel free to swap out one of the OSA cards for some Strela 10Ms at, you know, 2-vet or 1-vet or whatever. So, probably 1-vet. So it just depends on you, right? I'm giving you ideas, I'm showing you what I'm doing, and then you have to put that into practice. You can't just... The knowledge doesn't magically make you good at the game, right? The knowledge helps, the knowledge is a big part of it, but you need to apply it to learn instinctually how these things are working. It's not just about the knowledge. So, yeah, I should have had another unit here just to make sure he didn't get down here. I mean, he's, you know, 101st Airborne. So I'm trying to counter battery him with the 122s. Now, you see, now I have to move this Igla. You see, like, he was aiming for the Briusa because the EW plane can see the Briusa even if it can't shoot it. So he's very interested in killing my AA. And you see, I'm using these for counter battery. Just got to keep it funky. Just understand what this is for. He sees my AA. I need to move my AA, right? So, yeah, he doesn't care about the tank. He wants to snipe the AA so he can bring his bloody Apache in. So it's very difficult to fight into this, but it is what it is. So yeah, another Apache, and now all I've got to stop it is an Igloo. And yeah, his counter battery beats mine because, you know, they're 3-vet and, you know, these shoot far and so on. So that CV came in and immediately died to this. Or this.
Hello, I like money.
Crustacean type beats
So that was
subscribe to the
fortunate.
channel.
Thank you for subscribing to the channel. That was fortunate RNG there. I mean, I guess the Breuser would have unloaded on him, but... You know, I hit him, he hit me, and his playing Cosmos, so... So yeah, we're really struggling. Look, that was apparently a side shot. Yeah. So yeah, this was quite a frustrating game for me, but like, he's got nothing on the ground. It's all just helicopters, and I've got plenty of AA. I've got 3 cards of AA. I've got 4 cards of AA if you include the Igloos. So, 2 cards of Osas, a Breuser, and an Igloo. So, we have the solution. But yeah, you just, you know, if you're struggling to control those units, down-vet the Osas, or swap out 1 card of Osas for the Strela 10Ms. But generally, your focus should be on improving your ability to win that matchup. So yeah, maybe I probably shouldn't be attacking in 2 places, right? But I'd already won this zone, and so I was like, well, now I'll attack here. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't doing both at once, but now I am, because he's counter-capped and so on. So maybe I should have just sat on my arse on this zone and just waited him out. So I see the chappy, so I go for it. And it doesn't kill it, so that's obviously a big issue. It would have been better to kill it. You see, we got a lot of AA, and yeah, the Green Braze leader pretty scary. He's using the Chinooks to scout and the EW to scout, so that he can use the Apaches. So yeah, 101st, super strong since the change. Really got to be aware of this. So, yeah, the Breusers can engage like targets a bit faster than the Osas because, you know, if the Osa just misses a bunch of times in a row, you just lose. Whereas the Breuser is generally not going to miss because it fires so many bullets. But look at that, immediately going on the AA. Immediately going on the AA. I mean, the CV's there as well, but... yeah, it is tough. So, reinforcing this, I'm fighting in 2 places at once, which I don't really want to be doing as this div. I'm just, like I said, I'm too used to playing the lighter ones, and yeah, so he's going to unload that and then use the Chinook to scout. I'd have to hit it 3 times to kill it. His own AA isn't that amazing, right? He's just got a few chappies back here for the planes and so on, so I can use these, right? And I can reinforce points reasonably quickly with these. So we get the fire team leader with the tanks backed by the, you know, the AA. Trying to get some Conkers in here so I can shoot across. Buying some more AA. Buying some more AA. Oh yeah, there you go. Finally bought that grad for the counter battery. So I'm like, okay, there's clearly something going on here, and this is what the grad is for. Because its aim time is 20 seconds without the CV, and the range is nice. So it's pretty good at counter battery against these lighter things. Like, I should get these. At least 2 of them. Because that's, you know... So yeah, that's generally what it's for. We get the CV as well, that was near it. Like, we're getting a lot of things here. We're getting everything except the arty pieces, which survive. So that's life, I suppose. And, you know, I'm packing up and trying to get out of dodge before his... oh no, I fast path behind. Well... so, yeah, if I fast path forwards, I wouldn't have had to turn, and that might have saved me, but, you know, he missed anyway. In the front line, the mech slop is becoming too strong, right? The fighting is bogged down, which doesn't help him at all, right? I want bogged down fighting. He wants to be flying around all over the place. So that's why we've got a unit in here and so on to stop him from doing that again. This is going for the grad, right? And we're buying a backup CV for Dimitri in case he sneaks into Dimitri. You got to think, how's he going to win? Well, he's probably going to go around, so... So yeah, the Bruiser doesn't engage the... Okay, I guess he just landed in time, but... Yeah, the mech slop, at this point, he can't do anything. The mech slop is too great. We made it through the hardest part of the game, and it's all over but the dying. So let's get through it so I can show you the KD and what rank he was. Because his rank was pretty good. And his div is pretty good. I think it's probably better than mine, sort of objectively. But in this matchup at this point, because yeah, he comes over and he kills this as well. I remember this dying and being like, oh my god, how long is this going to go on for? That's what I was like. I was like, man, is he really holding me hostage to this? Because like, he can't do anything. He's just, yeah. Apart from that thing he just did. So we get up the coffin launchers for all this, right? This is a bit of an issue, but yeah, we just drove that straight in. Yeah, so he's rank 29. So high rank gameplay there. You see we were losing at the start, which you'd expect. And then we just slowly chop him up, push him back, hit the microphone, and move on to the next example. Oh, that was a lot of kills on that one. Oh, I didn't get a kill until 2 minutes into the game. Right, so now we're against P.Wolf. This guy plays quite a bit. I think he's like rank 100-ish. And he's playing 15th ZMech, the new one, and I'm playing 94th. And we're on Factory, which you would think, oh, he's the infantry-focused div, so he should win. No, I've got a massive, massive advantage over him here. I appreciate that he will get to places first. Is that the right transport? Is that the only transport it comes in? That's a 90km/h transport. I'd have to look that up. Oh yeah, he gets honkers, but he's not brought them for some reason. But I was expecting him to bring them. So these Razvedka BMP-1Ps down every main road, just so they can sit there and shoot ATGMs at his guys, because I know he's going to get there... He's going to get to here, right, when I'm about here, but I can shoot him with the ATGM and force him to unload. So that's the idea. But he didn't bring the honkers. So his mistake. And, you know, Poland doesn't get grenade launchers, and he doesn't get this funny rocket plane. Because I know he's got... Right, so look, he has to unload here because he... Well, I mean, I guess this one could have come closer, and then I would have shot him. But if he had come closer, I would have shot him. So he had to unload, but he didn't seem to know. Anyway, I knew he was going in here because they always do that, so... Now, sadly, that wasn't the Formosa, which is what we wanted to kill. That was just some three-man, whatever, potato squad. So that's a shame, but I bought this to kill that building, but now the Conkers is in, so that didn't work as well as I thought it did. And yeah, you know, we got smoke and stuff. We got the Conkers, we got the grenade launchers, we got the Saperi, we have the coffin launchers. He gets coffin launchers as well. But yeah, like his coffin launchers. He's actually opened 2 coffin launchers, which is quite rare because they're quite expensive. I mean, he immediately gets value out of them. And he's doing the same thing I'm doing, except with Maryukas. And they outrange the BMP-1P. But this can this can one-shot because it's that other one. So, you know, we're back on that grind set, and then I was like, oh, that's a lot of Strelas. This is that wheeled one. But yeah, you see, you know, this is like very straightforward. Grenade launchers kill his guys. Conkers kill his guys. And just sort of slowly walk into him. So he ends up getting some good kills off with these coffin launchers, but it's like, you know, like you got somebody there. But I'm just walking into him. I'm using the CV tank where I can. This plane has much nicer rockets. But yeah, he gets another unit there with the next coffin launcher, so that's how I knew he had 2, because I know how long they take to reload. It's 1 minute, and that was not 1 minute, so... So yeah, just slowly moving it up. The Saperi RPO, right? Gotta always have supply with the Saperi RPO, which I didn't bring. Okay. Because they immediately shoot the RPO, and then, you know... So, close range infantry AT coming in here now. And for whatever reason, he prioritizes the tank over the the CV. But now this has gone to 0 cohesion, he decides the CV is worth it more. That's how that works. I should probably do a guide on that. Just so much to do. Always so much to do. So now he's trying to drop some Commandosi in, but like he's rinsed, bro. He just doesn't have anything. So this div, it absolutely rocks on this map. Once again, 20th Mott Shotsun would work better, because you get cheaper infantry and all the other same stuff. But, you know. So, oh, okay, his rank's gone down. But he plays a lot of games. I guess it depends, you know, day to day, what he's playing. Next example. Right, so now we're against a high-level player. He's called AlMahom Streams, and he streams. It's in Russian, but, you know, whatever. And we're on Albion Military Base Duel, and he's playing 336 Marine. This div, not so amazing on Albion Military Base Duel, because you don't have the ranges, but the idea is, okay, he's inf div. He's getting everywhere first. He's going to go for the towny bit. So I'm defending with the Razvedka BMP 1Ps, right? Unload that guy, bring it back to the forest. Unload this guy, bring it back to the forest. We've got a Conkers down here, so he doesn't get down here. And an Igler in case he sends a helo to kill these. I would have liked a grenade launcher as well, but, you know. So yeah, he's forward deploying, because these Marines are like, half of them are airborne, half of them are Marine or something. It's like the Soviet formation. My plan is, okay, I know he's strong here, so I'm gonna rush Elena and then push into Fedor. Alright, no, I was going straight for Fedor, but, you know, that's the general plan. So, see that, you know, unload smoke, kills me anyway. Should have smoked faster, I don't know, whatever. So, yeah. And then this one, I'm like, okay, there's no way he hits me twice. Oh, he didn't. Okay, that's nice. And yeah, 2 CVs instead of because the Potok's 40 points. So I was like, well, look, I'll just get because I'm going to buy a 160 point tank anyway. I'll upgrade and get the CV tank. Now, I don't actually know if that's a good idea, or if I should just get the 160 point tank and the CV, because then I have 2 units instead of 1, and the tank can do tank things, and the CV can do CV things, including staying with the tank to make the tank more like the CV. Right? Do you see what I mean? So, although it does have more armor, it's still going to get one-shot by the same things. So, I think this was a mistake. I bought a MiG straight away because I know he gets really nice planes that the OSAs can't really intercept. They can only avenge because they drop from so far away. I've got a big armored blob in the open. He's probably going to buy a plane. So, first minute's income, I bought a plane. He's rapidly reacting to this. This isn't in this building. But if it was, the SPG-9 would shoot it, so... And, yeah, we're moving up, right? You notice BMP-1s instead of BMP-2s. The BRM-1K for the exceptional optics. 1 Recon BMP-1 with Mott Razvedka. Iglers, Osas. There's the cluster bomber. So now we spread out. And we still lose 2, but he loses the cluster bomber. Now, sadly, I think I lose this MiG-29. Okay, no, it just gets severely damaged, so I have to buy a new one. Do you notice I had a mortar as well for mixed smoke, HE, whatever, so I suppose it's no longer necessary to shoot these. I saw... I bought this, and I, like, saw it when I was coming over, so I was like, oh, crap. So, yeah, this is nice to have. Very good optics with rockets, helps you clear out these areas. So, we're getting in. Right, because we knew he'd buy the bomber. I immediately buy another MiG-29 because I'm expecting another bomber. It is slowing down my reinforcements and so on, but beats being dead. Do I smoke here? No, I think I'd already used the smoke, so I'd just die like an idiot. I'm mortaring this now to try and get at these SPG-9 and Unspeakable 1 teams, because the idea is if I take Elena, then I can come for Fedor. Have you noticed I've left these switched off because I know he gets a seed plane? So that's something to keep in mind. And then wait for him to turn or whatever and then switch them on, but we didn't have to. Even if I'd missed there, I'd have, you know, 4 more missiles and the OSAs I would have switched on when he turned around, so he was very dead there. And this is the one from before, I think, or I might have just bought another one, which is probably a bit overkill, but I know the only way he can really stop me here is planes, but maybe I did overbuy on the planes. Like, I'm losing here, I I should have had a grenade launcher in here, because then all the infantry would get hit by the grenade launcher. Like, the anti-infantry capacity of the BMP-1 is very low. So it's more of a BMP-2 thing, so speed it up a bit. Right, got some legs left. It's a damn shame that didn't die. The fighter, I strafed a low HP guy, and then 3 Iglas all hit me. I suppose there's 4 Iglas. Maybe this fight as well. So I guess it's sensible. But yeah, the plan is... So yeah, for whatever reason, I couldn't see him anymore or something. Or, I don't know, I'm just dumb. I was like, it's only going to do 1 damage, but... Yeah, because I lost that other MiG. The MiG-23 beat the MiG-29. I don't know if that was poor micro or just bad RNG. I mean, it does happen. I don't want to get routed. So, yeah, just let the infantry run into him. Rocket plane's great for cleaning these guys up. The Conkers, he never sent anything down here, so I just came over. I was like, well, okay, I'll do that and try and hit something. And yeah, we're just walking infantry into the unspeakables. These T-55s he ends up absolutely messing me up with. It's actually quite inspirational. Because they've got the 2,800 meter range, and he knows about the tricking. But yeah, these rocket planes, I'm like, well, I know that his div has bad AA. It's only Iglas, and, you know, I guess he's got the Bruiser there. So I'm abusing that by buying the rocket planes. And you see, you know, BMP-1 plus Motor Strelky, side shot, whatever. I lose the Igla, though. And, yeah, these ATGMs are a really big issue. So I hide behind these buildings, and he still kills me. So I guess I hid too far behind them. I should have hit him, like, literally right behind them. Because you see, you know, another kill. He can't get this in because of the BMP-1s. I buy the grenade launcher now. Because these reload really fast if they don't get damaged, right? Now we've got Osas here, so we're shooting him with the Osas as he comes past. 2 vet Osas. Helos are more survivable now, etc. So at least these can unload while stunned. And sadly that got in before I killed it, so it's neutralized. Which means I'm not getting the tick, but I don't need the tick. But yeah, the fact that he got this from there, I should have... If it was even closer, it wouldn't have died. Because he ends up killing this one as well. So that was just bad play from me and good play from him. He is a good player. These aren't actually reservists, because they're reservist airborne. They don't get the reservist tag. I'm trying my darndest to get into Fedor, and I just can't do it. So, yeah, he buys another plane. These are 2 vet Oats. He missed me, because I fired and then I moved, right? Because I don't want to get killed. So that's smart. This less so, right? I could have, if I'd got out the building and immediately pressed E, he wouldn't have been able to hit me until he comes around to, like, here or something. So naturally, his T-55 is out shooting my command whatever. And do you see he switched off the gun so that he could fire the ATGM, thus doubling his effective firepower. So that's tank tricking. I've got a guide on that. Just look at the Warno guides playlist. It's called, like, how to double your tank damage. Basically, the reload time on the gun is 7 seconds, and the aim time on this is 2 seconds. So if you fire the gun and then switch it off, it'll fire this, and look, he's just done it there. You just saw that happen. So I'm really struggling, because apparently I can't hit him, right? I've fired how many times now? Because I've got ammo as well, so... Oh, we eventually hit him. Because, yeah, I should two-shot him, but... You know... Anyway, I switched this off, but it still killed me. So, okay. You have to switch it off and move it, but I did switch it off and move it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't want to fly over that Igla spam again, so... This is out of ammo, so it can't help me. And then this guy routed back here, and now he's getting shot by the other one, so, oh, it's not great. I've pressed smoke, but it can't smoke while routed, so it must die. Smartest routing, man. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Because the ATGMs deal nice suppression, more so than the tank guns. Usually it's higher than this, but... So, that's something. Yeah, but, you know, the later this goes on, the better it gets for me. His div doesn't scale at all. So, I know his AA is bad, so I just kind of lean into that a bit. That's going to be a side shot. Okay, I missed. Get another one of those recon helos to check it out. I really want to get CV in here, but I can't get it up because of these baddies. So the Potok gets killed by the Conkers. I'm fatigued. Helo CV to get in, but he's got air superiority now. I drive into the path of the cluster bomber. Oh, we can see this with that anyway, so I guess I wasn't getting out of there. So yeah, this is a low point in the game for me. But I've got all those planes, right? And his AA ain't good, so he can't really defend these except with his fighters, which are worse than mine. So you got to think about that, right? I think there was a guy in there, or I thought there was a guy in there. So, you know, MiG-29 should beat MiG-23 in most cases. Sometimes it doesn't. Is that Helo CV again? I sent this forwards to see, can I get there without getting shot? Turns out I can get shot, so I think I unload it early. Please tell me I unload it early. And yeah, I'm just trying to find this T-55 AM. And the rocket planes are off cooldown now, so that's nice. Breusa gets killed by maybe the BMP-1, I don't know. Oh, this thing probably just shot it, right? So yeah, I unload early because I use that to scout, which is what it's for. And yeah, the rocket planes are like pseudo ASFs. They've got sidewinders on them. It's obviously not as good as an ASF, but, you know, gives the MiG-29 the opportunity. Gonna come for this now because it's got 2 HP. I don't go for this one because I don't know what's there in terms of AA. And, yeah, we're trying to take this out. I mean, the 50 cal is very good against this. I'll get that as well. I think I saw it drive in there. Well, oh yeah, this will have seen it. So yeah, he can't stop the air wave. So, you know, it just depends who you're playing against as to what you do, and that's why these pro guides consist of a gorillion examples, because it's not as easy as, hey, just do the same thing every time. Because if you do, sometimes you'll just lose because it doesn't work against this specific division. So you need to. This is the only way to do it. This is the only way to show you how to play the division. More examples, the better, basically. So yeah, eventually this infantryman that we unloaded from the helo back here somewhere has finally made it. And now we're smoking to make sure he doesn't get hit by bomber. So that's a +2. It'd be great if I got that. I'll be honest, I don't really have to rush this, but still in that zoomy mindset. I put this guy in the BMP2 so he would get there a bit faster. And now what? Right, it's a bunch of Conkers versus me. And yeah, he gets the OSA with this, so now I know it's there. You know, this is a 7-man 2-vet squad, right? So, I mean, he's Special Forces, but I'm a CV. He's in the open, I'm not, so I'm going to win that fight. This is a great place to be, because the Conker's going to kill everything coming down that road. And I think I eventually sent something to... Yeah, here we go. I was going to say, I'm not just going to leave that to do it. So I wanted to kill it with the rocket planes, but the fighters were there. You see, this is killing his stuff around the side as well. He bombs the CV. This is terrible. Don't bring this. Oh, I see. He only dropped half of the bombs, so I didn't die. If he dropped all the bombs. But you see, you can't really do anything about this. What's he going to do? Shoot me with an Igla? We know we killed the Breusa before. Another one, another one, another one. But yeah, if he split the payload so that he could get 2 bombing runs off, and because of that he didn't die. So I don't bring that one. I don't think it's very good. I bring the SE-24HG. So we've just killed all his planes now. We're getting back in here because, you know, it was the infantry came forwards and died, so it was just the weapon teams like the Conkers, which we just ran infantry into. Grenade launcher, right? So we've won bigly. We're basically going to get every zone here, right? We're pushed up on the edge of every zone. So, yeah, that's the game. I mean, obviously, it takes a few minutes for him to, because he obviously doesn't know the situation here. And that didn't kill that. It's got 3 top armor, so sometimes that happens, right? It wasn't squarely on it. He bombed right here, so yeah, so he calls it. But yeah, he's a high-level player, right? Rank, okay, that's gone down a lot. But he's played 469 games since January, so this was a lot higher when we played. people move around, right? Depends what divs he's playing. But yeah, you saw that, right? So even though I'm the mech div, in that case, I know his AA is weak. I know I've got good air. I know I can get air dominance and just blow up all his stuff with the bombers. So that's why we did it that way that time. Alright, so here is the next game. I'm against Fluffy Unicorns, who was like in the top 15 or whatever. I mean, it moves around all the time. So yeah, we're on Black Forest, and it's the same div, 94th. So I'm including this to show like some of the mistakes you can make, some of the problems you can have. Sadly, Black Forest, yeah, taking a little bit to deploy. Although I'm ready, I guess we'll... Never mind. So I opened with the helos and the rocket planes because I know that his deployment's kind of slow. But, you know, when he shows up, he's going to be a lot stronger than me because, you know, all I've got is these things. He brings a regular recon heli and not the rocket one. The rocket one's so useful, but you only get 2 of them. And look, as you can see, I didn't even kill that. And then his OSA immediately hit me. It is at 2 vet because the CV is next to it, so... That, and then I bought another plane, so I think this was overbuying planes, basically. Overbuying planes, because his tanks are still... It just takes a while for his tanks to show up, right? And then his, you know, his OSAs are at 2 vet, right? So, sadly, they just disappeared, so I didn't get that. So, like, this is the issue with your air spam, right? And then this was on the ground, so it got hit, so that died. So yeah, making lots of mistakes. And now, because I bought all these planes... Well, now I don't have an answer to his tanks, because I don't really have any tanks of my own, so this was a big mistake. He gets me in the back there, because I'm relying on my planes for air superiority, so there's no AA for him to fly over and get shot by or whatever. He does miss me. But yeah, now there's a tank here and I can't do anything, so that was obviously a mistake. So, you know, don't buy too many planes, right? I think that's obvious. And, yeah, we got his CV here, though, so that's nice. The Razvedka Mott doing a lot of work. And then he's just going to double coffin launcher and turtle up here. Really likes his mech gameplay, this guy. I faced him on airborne divs and he just immediately died. So I did ask him about it and he said I usually play mech. So yeah, he's got his tanks out. To be honest, he doesn't have that many himself, but he's got 1 more than me because I opened with all the air, right? So I know about the coffin launchers, so I'm just constantly moving my guys, like preemptively moving them. But yeah, he's got, you know, he's got more infantry than me, because I just bought all those planes and then the OSAs hit them all, and, you know, they're 2 vet OSAs. I bring mine at 2 vet as well, for the same reason. So this is a rocket plane from before, and it should really mess these up, but you notice I keep having to move. But yeah, you see, he just gets out of the way in time, and I believe this gets killed as well. So yeah, he's got a lot of AA, right? He's got a lot of AA and it's vetted. 2 vet OSAs, I mean, there's a reason I'm bringing those as well. So, yeah, this is painful, watching myself make mistakes, but... Problem is, we just can't deal with this these UR things, so sadly that missed and then got double hit, so that was quite unfortunate, really. It's all bad RNG there. But, you know, I shouldn't have bought all the planes, I should have bought more ground stuff. So this goes on for a bit. I mean, I'm on a +3 because he didn't cap this, because he only bought 1 CV. He brings the expensive ones instead of the cheap ones, so I can buy 2 at the start and he can only buy 1, right? For 10 points more I can get 2. The advantage of this is 1 more availability. Well, if you're not a silly Billy, you'll be fine. You see, mortars are actually pretty decent at just doing damage now. Like, he has to go back there or they will kill him, and that didn't used to be the case. You could just sit under it for ages and nothing had happened to you. So I'm constantly moving because I'm worried about the coffin launchers. So you see me, like, I can't see this, but I know that it's going to be shooting at some point. So you see I'm sort of constantly moving around. It would have been nice if I'd killed it, but... So yeah, I wanted to attack over here, but this isn't what the div is, right? This isn't what the div is. So I lose 190 points there, and it's because, well, I'm... You know, I'm monging out. Then, you know, he's behind me... And then he, whatever, just gets me there. I guess more of my planes got out than him. So, yeah, the Bruiser kills the BTR-60. You'd expect that, really. And yeah, I'm just doing everything in my power to not play this div the way it's meant to be played. So that was a nice, almost triple kill there. And then this thing I sort of miss a lot, I think, or... No, I get that. That's a big supply, that. It's like 3 in a card, so it's a big deal if that dies. But yeah, I should be playing more around this rather than coming over here. And then he just spams out a bunch of arty, and I try and counter him with my own arty, but I need more on the ground. Look how few units I have. I'm trying to air spam. So you got to be careful with your air spam, basically. Anyway, I'm going to speed it up now because nothing is happening. And so, yeah, he just has way more units than me, so he's pushing me out here. I appreciate that, you know, Osas can be air spammed because they don't have the range, right, if you just go around, hit them in the sides and stuff, but I don't bring the seed plane because I'm a tank div, so... And yeah, basically he just turtles for the whole game. As you know, I'm very, very, very weak to that strategy, which is why people do it against me, because they know. Also because it works, right? Well, it works against me, but it works in general. So, yeah, he just sits there and buys arty, and I'm trying to push him, but he'll just snipe that and then buy the next arty. You see, the grad did actually kill 2 of his D30s. Or I killed all 3 of his D30s, but turns out he brings 8. So I lose the arty duel anyway. So there you go, there's another 2 D30s. But, yeah, just too much on the air. Like, the grad is killing him. So the grad does work, especially if you're sort of dumb enough to put them all next to each other. But yeah, he has 8 of them, so I've killed now 5, and he still has 2, so he does end up killing all my arty. And yeah, he's basically just camping and building up, camping and building up, camping and building up. Frankly, that makes on a mirror that makes more sense because you're playing against yourself, and so you should play reservedly and build up whatever, but I end up losing the arty duel, and then I lose all my smoke mortars, which means I can't stop this. And he's in it for the long call, right? And yeah, eventually he pushes me out, so we can keep watching this and see what we can learn. But basically I shouldn't have bought so much air at the start, and I should have focused more around this area and, you know, buying my own tanks and taking this area, because now I'm just too far behind, because I was pushing so aggressively. I lost all my units. I've got loads of planes, and now this is the part where, you know, just everybody dies. So he does eventually get up to here. I'm just showing it on fastest, because you might be interested in seeing what happens, but you can always skip to the next example if this bores you. They should be timestamped, obviously I haven't done it yet. So yeah, I was on a +1 for the whole game, but then at the end he manages to get in here. And you see, like, I'm just not killing any of his units now because I'm so far behind. Everybody's just dying. So if I played slightly better, I would have won here, because it ends up being really, really close, but basically I bought too many planes at the start, and I played too aggressively, and so he just played for the late game, and you know, you saw the grad did quite a bit, but he, you know, he still had 1 left, I suppose. And then eventually, yeah, it's a +6, so... So yeah, in mirrors you should play more defensively, because, you know, you're playing against yourself, and attacking is more attritional than defending. So I learnt my lesson from that, and then we ended up against each other again. His rank's gone down a bit, so has mine. So here we are again, and same guy, same div, same me, same div. But now I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to camp and spam arty. So now we're aware of what he's about, we can deal with it. So you need to remember, in a mirror, don't push too aggressively. It's about the trades, because you're playing against yourself. Obviously, you know, you shouldn't be on a negative tick for ages, but I know what he's going to do now. So I'm a lot more prepared. You know, generally you learn more from a defeat than you do from a victory. So, like, Germany lost World War I, and that's why they won World War II, because they learned from their mistakes. Anyway, yeah. But no, you do learn more. You obviously do learn more from a defeat than you do from a victory. So we've got the Razvedka Saperi going to mid, and the plan now is play slow, take trades, don't spam air. Play slow, take trades, don't spam air. But yeah, I'm not the best mech player in the world. I prefer the lighter divs, or like the semi-light divs, so like 4th Mort Schutzen, 2nd UK, 9th US, 6E I've been playing recently. But yeah, my historic ones, like 4th Mort, 2nd UK, 9th US, basically. And some other stuff, like I've been playing the new Marine one, both of them, but the Soviet Marine one's more like the lighter one. So we're getting the coffin launchers out, and we've got the Razvedka Saperi here, and we know he's just going to play mega slow. So instead of buying one of these and a CV, you can buy this and a CV. Now, does it make sense to buy this instead of having the CV separate? I actually think it doesn't. Because yes, you've buffed up your tank on the front line, but if you've got the separate CV, well, you can buff up your AA, and so on, and so on, and so on. So he's expecting me to attack wide, right? Do you see why he's putting so much there? But something like the Razvedka BMP, you know, the Mot Razvedka BMP1 can cover so much ground, because it's 2 units for 90 points, right? And you've got the AT and so on. But yeah, I could be a bit faster moving this up. So, yeah, he's put a lot here, and he's going to play a long game. So, you know, making mistakes is fine, and that's part of life. And, you know, they say your ideas die so you don't, that sort of thing. Maybe that's a slightly separate point, but not learning from your mistakes is inexcusable. And we could all do better to learn from our mistakes more quickly. Like, so when I did a bachelor's in chemical engineering, I was like, wow, that was difficult. And then I didn't learn from my mistakes and did a master's in chemical engineering. I was like, blimey, I'm not doing that again. I learned from my mistake. And then I did a PhD in chemical engineering, so I'm clearly really retarded. Anyway, so the idea is coffin launchers, play it slow. Obviously, he hit me, I didn't hit him. It's the same tank, whatever. I suppose he... Actually, he has slightly more accuracy than me. 5% more, so there you go. And you see we're both doing the same thing, which is we're trying to snipe each other's units with the coffin launchers. You see I'm constantly moving to dodge them. Sadly, I was too slow there. And we've got the supply, and we're just going to play it slow. I know he's going to buy a bunch of D30s and hit me with those, so I do try and send stuff around the side. Now, this brings it back to the idea behind that grad, and why I have now swapped out the grad for the BRDM2s. Because it's kind of cumbersome. It's great at counter battery, but or you could just have 8 D30s, which does seem to work. So yeah, we're winning, but I'm trying to make sure not to overextend, because we know what he's about. He's just gonna play it late, try and take trades, try and get back in. I do start making some mistakes though. You never want to shoot from your spawn road in case the counter battery gets you. He's aiming for the coffin launcher because he knows that can, you know, reliably kill him over time. And you see he's saving his guys, right, as I am trying to save mine, and you should always save your guys. So I think we get that one. Yeah, he had low HP. And you see he's going for... I don't know why you can see that, really. Who knows, he might be listening in, or didn't he have a unit here before? Like that Razvedka or something? Does it matter? Anyway, he's not hit it. So yeah, he's coming around here, just trying to do positional fighting, and you just gotta play slow. I find it really, really difficult to do that. It's, so you see, he gets me there, so he's winning on the trades. He's just gonna play it slow. Like, have you noticed he's not even capped this? That's how bothered he is about the late game. And, like, usually, if that last game hadn't happened, I'd be like, YOLO, it's not been taken. No, he is trying to bait you into doing that so that you can win on trades. Learn from your mistakes. But no, obviously everybody has a kind of personality type, and that influences what things you're good at, what things you're bad at. Good nutrition does as well. Like, so if your mother doesn't get enough iodine when she's pregnant with you, or if she drinks loads of alcohol and smokes and stuff like that, then you end up being a 10v10 player basically, and there's not much you can do about it after that point. Which is a shame really, because it wasn't really your fault. But anyway, yeah, just trying to kill. But I over the course of the game, I start forgetting about this because, I mean, iodine deficiency, right? So having one of these rocket helos out is actually really useful. You'll notice I don't have the recon ones. I can't remember if they died or if I haven't bought them. I think I haven't bought them. But yeah, it's always useful to have a rocket helo out because, you know, you wouldn't buy it at like minute 0 or whatever. But if an infantry overextends, you can just hammer him with this and kill him, and then go heal it up. You get people who... It's very hard to get out of this mindset, where they buy like 5, or 3, or whatever. So you see I'm ticking up, and he's just sitting there. He's just sitting there. And as you can see, even though this replay has already happened, and I know the outcome, it still winds me up. So it's just a personality flaw of mine that... Because, like, you know, if these routers are really good at close range because it's a T80 BV gun. I personally don't think it's like necessary to bring them, but if you're gonna sit on your ass for 40 minutes, I guess it's a good idea because they're great at doing that. So this obviously doesn't beat tanks, and so I think it dies. Oh no, yeah, we get him to smoke. So there's the recon one. It's probably more useful than this one, but I did want some infantry as well for this kind of thing. And yeah, we're just back to sitting there. And sadly, the T80 BV gun, because I can't actually see this because it's got good stealth and I don't have recon, so. Now you see, I start buying the air, and this would have worked because, you know, because it's on an exposed flank. If you fly it over mid, then you can expect it to die, but generally there isn't a lot of AA on the exposed flank. Generally. And in this case, I was correct. You see, he's trying to do the same thing. I've actually got this switched off, but I lose this OSA here, so... As you can see, I'm forgetting. In real time, you can see me forgetting that I just have to sit on my arse because that's what my opponent does. So... I'm throwing... It's frustrating, but that it is what it is. The counter to somebody sitting on their arse is for you to get a tick and then also sit on your arse. So I shouldn't be pushing so aggressively, but... You know, you do want to be kind of attacking and trying to get kills, basically, but... You should do it in one place, not two, because then... Right, look at this. You see the utility of... Well, especially this one with the very good optics, right? I could see him in the little trees there, whereas this one couldn't. Sadly, we do lose that in one volley, but that's life. And yeah, he just keeps sitting on his arse. You'll notice I'm trying to send this Conkers around the side to kill his arty, because we know about the arty. Obviously, it's been shooting at us. And this div's kind of like that. Like, you do push aggressively in the early game with the T64As, but once you get CVs, I suppose, you know, then you're sort of back to mech kind of thing. It depends what div you're against. If you're in a mirror, playing a bit defensively makes a lot of sense, because your divs are strong at the same time. You get more kills from defending than you... Well, depends how you defend, right? But generally, it's easier to trade positively when you're defending. And... yeah, you're strong and weak at the same time. If you're playing against a div that's heavier than you, you want to attack faster than him. And that shows through in a lot of these examples. So there'll be one against 2Y coming up soon. And... yeah. And that's heavier, so you play faster. But if you're against a lighter div than you play slower. And if it's a mirror, you should also play slower because... Well, come on, I'm just going around circles now. But nothing's happening. The most boring man alive is fighting me, so... So yeah, you can... Obviously, you can kill those if you're paying attention. Just trying to use the coffin launchers to get kills and not die and try and take trades. But you'll notice I'm losing the trades because I'm pushing so aggressively, so... I lost too much over here. Sadly, this guy reveals himself. That would have been a good reveal. But that's good. We get a triple kill there. That was actually 3 units. It only shows up with 1 because of a problem with the game. But you'll notice I'm trying to get that RT by sneaking the Conkers BRDM2 round the side. They're really good for this because they've got good stealth and they're super fast. There is a YouTube short about this. But yeah, this is a shame, really. I was too exposed, so he just blobs it down. And yeah, you'll notice I've not bought the grad, because last time I sort of overbought on Artie and then I lost on the front lines. You know, in hindsight, if he's buying that much and I'm buying that much, then it's the same, but you saw what happened. It was mainly the air purchases. You'll notice I'm buying so little air now. Do we kill this guy? We do. That's a big kill. It's an expensive squad. I lost one here recently, as you saw. So yeah, you see the noose is slowly closing because just bad at mech gameplay. If you've got a weakness, you should practice it. It depends what you want out of the game, right? I mean, obviously, if you want to be a well-rounded player, then yes, of course, you should practice your weaknesses. If you just want to chill out after work or whatever, then, you know, there's nothing particularly wrong with just playing one div over and over and over again. But it does stand in the way of you being a good player. So he knows about this. As you can see, he's trying to hit it, but it's fast, right? So we're getting back there. You'll notice, like, this is at one-time speed. You see how much is happening now as the number of units increases? Like, everybody's shooting, lots of people are dying. But yeah, we get his supply, and we start hitting these arties. I've got a fighter up because I'm worried he'll use a bomber on my tanks. That was a mistake, that could have got out maybe, but just not good at microing these things. Anyway, we start getting the arty pieces now. He does a lot of missing, this guy, but I think he eventually gets 2 of them. He gets the mortars. We're hitting the most exposed target, so sadly we didn't get the tank, but we did get something. And yeah, that one rocket helo indeed, because you don't get ATGM helos. An ATGM helo here would be fantastic because he would be killing the tanks. But so yeah, you see I'm trying to attack on the side because I know it's all over here. I mean, admittedly, you know, I could benefit from being more in the front, but those were side shots. But so you know that I've been rewarded for my actions. And you see how much better it goes if you just sit on your ass. Although, yeah, as you can see, I'm not doing that. I'm fundamentally incapable of doing that. So he is pushing me here because I've got units on this side. We don't have the infantry to sort of scout ahead, and obviously, well, we've got that Mot Razvedka, which are trying to kill the Motostrelki. But yeah, you can reinforce quickly with these RPG-22s and so on. And yeah, so trying to get side shots so you can kill him. He gets that with the coffin launcher, right? You see, we've held him back here, we've held him back in mid. These, honestly, like this, if this was here, then I suppose the fight would have gone better. But, you know, he's reinforcing this, so... This was a mistake, because I don't have the infantry for it. And I saw that when it was in the transport, but that was obviously a mistake, and then he auto-evacs over all the AA. If he'd come this way, he might have made it, but he got hit on the first hit. It's 2 vet, so it makes sense for it to hit me. We're both pretty low accuracy there. I'm 3% higher though, so I should hit, right? And yeah, this just keeps going and going and going. I mean, the guy wants to play a 40-minute game. You see, I just leave. I don't even bother fully capping it, because I'd rather be alive. And I knew there'd be a coffin launcher coming in at some point, somewhere, somehow. But now that he's sorting this out, I can get back in mid, so it does help to go around the sides and do stuff. You just got to make a decision in the moment. But generally, divs are better at doing it than others, right? I'm trying to get the coffin launchers. So yeah, we get everything. Well, we get a lot of things here, because we've sort of killed almost all of his units, but... You know, he can bomb my exposed tanks in the same way that I can bomb his exposed tanks, and then I can get hit by an OSA and just miss him over and over again. That's life. But yeah, this apparently goes on for another 20 minutes. So basically I overextend again, because that's my middle name apparently. And then he keeps bombing the tanks, you see. Keeps bombing the tanks. And then he reconstitutes himself, because I overextend. I lost like 3 tanks there. And that's like a 3 minutes income roughly, so that gives him the advantage again. Yeah, he's still got one of those arty pieces from before. You want to try and double up the tanks, because, you know, 1 beats 2 and all this. And yeah. So yeah, it's back to the same kind of thing, you know. You buy some more arty. And, yeah, I think this is before I put the 3rd card of supply in my deck, maybe, or... You see, well, at least I killed that. But yeah, I lost the tank, the command tank, so that's 200 points. So I win that trade, but obviously it's better to not lose your command tank. And you see, I sent the rocket out one first, and then I lost both planes anyway, so that was a mistake. I should have saved those planes, because later on I do kind of wish I'd saved them. And you just hear the sound of the double coffin launcher every 60 seconds, a minute passes in Africa. And yeah, I've finally bought my own arty now. You know, I'm amazed, like, because like, he's lost so many units, but he's still got, like, low units. So, bombing run, and, you know, I don't know exactly where it's going to drop, so... Lyosas are 3 vet, so naturally he gets both of my tanks. What can I say? Yeah, I guess I reversed into it. They've got a big splash on them, those. I mean, you can dodge one, but if there's 2 of them, it's kind of hard. So yeah, we know he's attacking here because of the smoke. At this point, it's basically impossible for him to win unless he gets every single zone. But, you know, you saw that Black Forest game, right? So that's influencing his opinions as well. He's like, oh, well, last game I won right at the end, so the same might happen here. So yeah, BRDM2 conquers to buy space. Gets in over here, we do try and sort that out. And you see he's coming around on the left, so we're just swinging the... You know, we got another rocket helo for all the infantry, right? Trying to get in over here. And for whatever reason, this prioritises that BRDM2 over all the infantry. I guess it can't see them or something. So, I haven't actually killed these, despite shooting them loads. He actually got the tank and the conkers, and both of his tanks are, you know, one of them's not doing so hot, but the other one's completely okay. Anyway, we saw this BMP-1, and, you know, there's nobody here except my 1 unit and his 2 units, so definitely sort that out. But obviously the main focus of the attack is on this side. And yet, not having any ATGM healers on this div is a really big problem, because if I had one, it needs to be dead. Or at least, you know, they wouldn't be able to stand that. So we miss. So you see I'm going for the tanks and the rocket planes in front, right? He tries to dodge this, but he doesn't manage it. He dodges with 1. And we counter battery his arty with the D30s, I guess. So yeah, he's a really good player. I mean, I guess I just prefer it when my enemies just roll over and die. That's much more preferable, right? Let me win, you know, etc. But yes, he clearly can't win this, but he wants to play. So we keep playing. He's got a lot of tanks, right? So he gets in the corner, but I've saved some of the air, right? So there it goes. The air gets it. I know I've sped it up, but I mean, come on. He would need a really, really high score to it at this point. So we do try and sneak around on this side, but the BRMP-1 stops me. He's really interested in playing the game. He definitely can't win at this point. So he smokes the corner and gets in, and then he gets routed by the rocket helos. And have you noticed the advantage behind saving all your planes for the late game? I saved more of my planes than he did, so if you know the game's going to go late, then, well, in general, you should save your planes rather than just suiciding them in 1 at a time to try and kill 1 thing. Because then you could do that, right? So, yeah, all he had left was his rocket planes, because I killed both of his cluster HE bombers. So there you go. So learn from your mistakes and play more conservatively if you're playing against yourself. If you're playing against a div that's lighter than you, also play a lot more conservatively, play it slower. If you're playing against a heavier div, play it faster, because later game he'll beat you. So Let's go on to the next example. Right, so here I am against CIKarma. He was, at the time, spamming out Erster. And, yeah, if you ever play against this guy, or at least when he plays against me, he always does the same thing. It doesn't matter which div he's on. He deploys a bunch of helo guys and buys a bunch of planes. It doesn't seem to... He plays a lot of divs, and he plays them all the same. He deploys a bunch of helo guys and buys a bunch of planes at the start. So you see, he just doesn't have anything on the ground. I have lost to it before, right? Sometimes he wins, but I know what he's going to do. So we're on Vertigo. We're on the good side, which is nice. And so we're opening 2 Osas at 2 vet, right? And we got the Potok, and we've got 2 tanks. I just had some points left over, so I bought 2 more expensive tanks. And I've since realised that, yes, the Potok should be, you know, separate, right? Because... You know, if it's also 40 points, you might as well just get 3 units instead of 2. It's always going to be better. So yeah, he's opened with 3 planes. And that thing has like 3 banks of rockets. Anyway, so he flies over the Osas, and there he goes. They're at 2 vet, and they get more accuracy the closer the enemy is. They would have had 4 shots there, so even if they'd missed one of the first 2. And we just switch them straight back off, because we know about the seed, or at least, you know, at some point we figure it out. And then they hit again. I've got a fighter up, so that was 3 missiles. I don't know, it might have been lucky. I don't think it was, personally, because it's 70% accuracy. They're actually at 3 vet, because the CV is next to them. They're not at 2 vet, they're at 3 vet. so that's even higher accuracy. And yeah, you notice we've given up on this, because I know his div's lighter than mine. He's going to rush that down. My plan is get in here, make sure we don't die, and then come take this... Right, and then you take here, and then you can take this. Right, that's how you do it. You take mid, and then you take this. Otherwise, you're coming up and down here, and you're getting shot from both sides. So, you want to take the sides, and you want to prioritise mid, because that also gives you the opportunity to come over onto the right side. Because, yeah, if you take this, yes, you can put an ATGM there and shoot down there, but actually an ATGM here can do the same thing, so you don't actually need that. So you see the double tanks with the res med could be MP1. You should be very familiar with this by now. The Osa's behind. I could use a BRM-1K, so the tanks have exceptional optics with them. And I'm just, you know, I'm concerned about air spam. So, mortar for smoke in case there's an ATGM in, like, here. There wasn't, but I don't know that. And you'll notice one of these is a Razvedka Zap area RPO, which is, well, that's not useful in the open. Yeah, but I know that, basically, I'm going to kill the guys here, and he's going to go hide at the back. Because there's nothing wrong with that. That's obviously... So same with the guy before that I just showed you, and I was like, well, why is he just sitting there? That's the optimal way to do it, right? So, I just want to win, right? What can I say? I'm only human. I'm only human after all. Anyway, so you see he's got the seed, and then the cluster, you know, so you can hit the AA, so the seed... Because if I switch on the Osa, then he kills, you know, then he hits it with the seed, so... But there was a second Osa and an Iglo. So, sadly we don't get the seed, but we do get the cluster. And now I'm going to switch this off and move it. And the idea is, like, that's just the way it's going to be. He's going to keep spamming the planes out, and as long as you're killing him every time, if he gets 1 unit and you kill 1 plane, you're fine, because you've got at least 4, I think it's 4 fighters, 2 cards of MiG-29s, and, you know, 2 cards of Osas and a Bruiser and an Iglo, right? So yeah, we've taken this, and... Like, the KD is honestly ridiculous, because, like, he doesn't have anything on the ground. And so now we're going to come over here, but we got to be careful, because if we get overextended, we're going to get killed. So, more Osas, right, replacement Osas, or just Osas in general, right? I bought this before the last one died. I want at least 2, preferably 3. So he does actually outrange me. Well, no, they've got the same range. I think that's why I bought these ones. Pretty sure it's just because the points were left over, but it has the same range as his tanks. Obviously these things keep changing, but for now that is the case. I think it was just because it was 160 and this is 195. Yeah, also this can survive a 17 AP, a 30 AP plane AT missile, but he doesn't actually get those, he only gets clusters, so... It's whatever, but yeah, as you can see from the timer, there's not long left in this game, because he tries that again, and I believe... No, I don't get him. I don't get him. But I get the seed plane, which is actually the bigger kill. And so then he tries it again and again and again. You see, always move him after they shoot. If you notice, he's bought Artie to hit the AA. It is what it is. If I was on the bad side, I would have done the same thing but in reverse. I would have come and taken this, and then you can come over here and take this, or you can attack over here. Now, given that my tanks are kind of close-range brawlers, and I get good infantry with the Saperi RPO and all that, I would want to fight here. If I'm like 35th US, well, I'd probably just surrender, but it sucks to fight here because, yes, your tanks are close range, but your infantry's terrible. You don't have any good infantry AT, so... yeah. But we're on this side, so this is what we're doing, right? So... yeah, at this point the game's kind of a foregone conclusion, right? Because like now I'm pushing over here. I'm just pushing everywhere. I mean, you wouldn't usually do that, but he's got so little on the ground from his love of planes. And there you go. This time we actually hit it before it dropped all its bombs. He got the one bomb got the OSA. Okay, I forgot that had happened. That's very funny. And then these should be moved up as well, and they should be moving after firing. But you know, I'm making a mistake there. You notice I put the CV next to them, so they're actually at 3 vet. If you've got the CV, you know, it's not doing anything else, so that's a great thing to do, right? Trying to hide this behind. Trying to push to the left. The rocket planes are great at sniping exposed units, although that wasn't worth it. And yeah, once you get to here, you put a Conkers. Well, you can sort of cover it from this side, but yeah, you would try and put a Conkers in here or something in here, and then they can't reinforce this way either. And so you don't have to go for Ivan. This map is very imber. If there was a zone here and a zone here, it would be fixed. Or at least it would be less imber, because you would still have a big advantage on this side, but the guy playing on the other side would actually have something he could do if he took these zones. So you see the KD was not actually as one-sided as I thought. So he's ranked 90. He was playing a load of Erster when this game was played, because I ran into him twice, but one of them was on a different div, that's why it's not in this video. Right, so here we are on Cliff Duel against roniniceman. Very good player, and he's playing 2Y, which is a very popular division. Now, in this case, I know his div's heavier than mine, because his tanks are better. It's basically like late game, it's just a better version of my div, because his tanks are more expensive, and, you know, so he outscales me a lot. Actually, in general, I think his div's just better than mine. Because he also gets the Gvardetsi, right, which is just the same price as mine, but it has Resolute. But yeah, basically, sorry I missed that. I want to fight around here. Because well, okay, the first thing was I sent the recon helo forwards, because I know he doesn't have forward deployed AA. And I was right to do that, because I got a kill out of it. I know he doesn't have forward deployed AA, and then I buy a fighter in the first tick, as you've seen with quite a few of these games, because, well, I was expecting this to die in this case, but also, you know, your tanks are probably going to get hit by those MiG-21 cluster bombers, so I've got, like, quite a bit of AA. And the plan was to just try and fight him as much as possible, and once I killed that, I was like, oh great, I can come set up over here. Something a bit weird happens in this game with the AT, and that I should have just ran off. I landed it after the first kill because I was like, oh, he'll buy a fighter, and that's why I bought my own fighter, but he didn't. And then by the time I see this, well, the Strella's there now, so if I take off, I'm still going to get shot, so that was a mistake. Something really funny happens with this Motrez Vedka, because, like, obviously you can see him coming in for the wonderful AT kill. I can't see him, so this guy's too far away. Oh, he's blocked by these houses, so he couldn't actually see that. Anyway, so he comes up, right? So I'm like, oh, great, easy side shots. And so we hit him with the side shot with the Grom, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a CV. And so then and then it just automatically shoots at the wrong one. And then it automatically shoots at the other wrong one. And it's to do with the way the auto-targeting in this game works. Units have an inbuilt dangerousness value, which is what the auto-targeting uses. It targets along with the highest dangerousness. And in this case, this must have a higher dangerousness than this, even though this is a CV. and then once it hit this one, its cohesion went to 0. Once your cohesion goes to 0, you gain a dangerousness of 0. So that's when it switched to the other one. So instead of killing the CV, or killing this, I killed nothing. I could have killed both. I should have right-clicked this, basically. But sometimes if you right-click it, they start leaving the buildings. It depends. If it's slightly... So that the range on AT is from the edge of the building, no matter where you are in the building. I'll find you a big one, right? So here, you'd be in the middle, and you see the first 100 meters is basically just the building. Obviously, this building is a lot smaller than that, but there's also range compression, so it says that distances are a lot further than they actually are. And that's why the ranges are so high on small arms and stuff, because you got to divide it by 3, basically. Roughly, it's like 2.8 something. So I thought I could hit that again, but I couldn't. So now I'm very wounded. And so, if you're in the building, the range to the enemy that it can fire the AT from is actually the edge of the building. But if you are out of... But if where the unit is in the building is out of range of where the tank is, and you right-click it, it will leave the building. So it's... these are the sort of things that you only start noticing after you've been playing the game for 4 years, you know? But yeah, you'll notice I'm sort of trying to aggressively push him. He's blobbing up bigly, but I've got the rest of the map, so that's all good. He's managed to push me here, so we just sniped that with the rocket plane. Very, very, very cost effective. This guy doesn't have his smoke, so he gets stunned up by the ATGM and then he dies, so that was a mistake. I am not good at mech. I need to play more mech. It's so boring, man. I want to zoom. I want to zoom and then complain about how mech is too strong. Which it is, but it doesn't change the fact that I am biased. So, yeah, I'm like, okay, he's blobbing. Maybe I can try and play a bit wide and sort of come around the sides and stuff. But generally, I'm just trying to blob versus blob because, you know, my tanks are cheaper than his, so I can slightly out-blob it, right? In the early game. But as it goes late, this is just going to get harder and harder for me. His objective is to continue to tank blob, and the later it goes, the stronger he gets in comparison to me. So he could do with playing a bit slower, and like, instead of coming over here, he could take this. Although, I've put loads of guys there, so... Because yeah, he's kind of aimlessly, you know, getting shot at by all these conkers and so on. Like, he buys an Akatsuya for the conkers, because yeah, it's there shooting him, but yeah, we're starting to kill him now. And yeah, I'm trying to improve my mech gameplay. So I get another tank, I suppose. And then he does, I think he kills this, from what I remember. The mortars are pretty useful, obviously. Like, look, it's just stunned him, but if he's moving, obviously it's less useful. Do I buy the grad? I can't remember. You'd expect the T-64B to win that. It costs a lot more. Also, what he could do is switch off his gun and shoot the ATGM at me. But yeah, every tank I kill, you know, I now have one more tank than him. And so that's then a 2v1 and so on. And, like, that was a side shot, so that was very painful. But we got him and we didn't die. This will be out of action for a long time, though. Tanks used to repair a lot quicker than they do now. And yeah, it's a bit of a LOS hell around here, but I could see through that. And yeah, my tanks, I can't fight with them until they get repaired, so he pushes me out. Yeah, I've got the AT. You notice I'm going for the Strela. And I just evac straight away, but I miss, sadly. And I think he hits me. Oh no, maybe it'll later. Yeah. Yeah, so speed up a little bit because nothing is happening. Apart from, yeah, I'm using the rocket planes to snipe the exposed targets because the Strela's all the way back here. He gets OSAs, so I'm very surprised he doesn't have a couple of those. He's prioritizing RT over OSAs, which is a mistake. But, you know, so I moved the Conker so it didn't die, and then I put this guy in that building. So that... Iodine deficiency. Iodine deficiency. So yeah, I lose the CV here because his tanks aren't 1 HP, so they could So I need some supply. I did buy some, but it takes time to show up, and especially if it's the tracked one. You notice I got the recon helo over here, because I can see him kind of coming around the sides. Because I've got guys in here, I can sort of see him in and out of cover, coming around the sides here. And yeah, I lost that for like no reason, because the Conquerors lit up the position. And then I moved the Conquerors out so it doesn't die, and then I put somebody else in there. Come on, man. Use your head. So you see how useful this is? It's a shame you only get 2. Although, you know, it makes sense. Don't think it's imber. So, yeah, a little bit slow on the uptake there. Trying to get some recon. And, so... Yes, it's tough, man. I fire faster than him. Because they're both auto-loaded, and his is auto-loaded at 8, and mine's auto-loaded at 10. So that is actually a big advantage. His advantage is, you know, the gun is better. And he's got more armor. And he's faster. And he's better against infantry. Although, you know, this is the CV one, so it's not a fair comparison, really. Anyway, this is something I'm really going to struggle against. But he doesn't have the AA for it. He doesn't have the OSAs. So we've been sort of pushed out here, but not really. And does this die? Yeah, it just got revealed by, I think, you know, the guys who are running over here. Or maybe I make it. I think I make it. It's been a while since I played these games. So. They are on the most recent patch. It's just... No, I was right. It died. A friend of mine once asked me, Hippie, what's your favourite scene from Shrek 2? And I said, the part where, you know, they're fighting against a gingerbread man and he says, more heat, less foam. And he's like, how do you remember that? Well, what do you mean? Listen, if you don't huff glue every day, make sure you eat healthy, get enough sleep, do your exercise. I don't get enough sleep, I'll tell you, but the other things I try and do, apart from the glue part, right, then your brain doesn't dissolve into a pile of mush. So, as you can see, 120mm mortar's good. But, yeah, we're pretty far up. Like, we can take this back, we just need the CV, which I suppose I could bring this one over. But it would have to go all the way around, but yeah, we could do that. You'll notice I've got the BRM-1K with it. I should have a supply with it, it's coming, because obviously once they smoke, well now I can't use them again until they get the smoke back, basically. You know, depending on what you're facing and so on and so on. So, yeah. We're just very far ahead on trades. This is my best tank, which is why I've started buying that one now. We do miss, and then, ow, that must have been a side shot. Yeah, it's a very nice tank, that. I think it's the best tank in the game, currently. Yeah, what can I say? Packed game. Obviously, if it was realistic, Pact would collapse and there wouldn't be a war, so certain things do have to change. Certain things do obviously have to change for there to be a game. But yeah, this could be a bit tighter here, you know, the Euro could be here healing this guy. You know, I'm sending him in, but he's on half HP, and the Euro could be there. Anyway, we're really trying to kill this guy, but I don't know, he's a very survivable fellow, apparently. Yeah. And, yeah, it just becomes like a mech blob battle. I have the high rises, so I can ATGM him a bit. Well, I mean, he's got plenty. He is ATGMing me plenty. But yeah, as the game goes later, it's going to get harder and harder for me. We did eventually get that Potok. I think it was this guy. Those Akatsias haven't done him many favours. Why am I bringing them so close? I wouldn't actually be able to shoot this. Can I say, you know, I get better at the game as I play more. That wasn't very pleasant. So, yeah, but with all this time, we've been on a +1, right? So, that's nice. But as the game goes late like this, I'm trying to kill it with, for whatever reason, he brings it at Nova. So I want to hit it with the AT planes, because he doesn't have the OSAs out. So, you know, and this is itching to be side shot. Is that why he surrenders? Yeah, it just got side shot and died. 345 points. It'd been pre-wounded by this, otherwise it wouldn't have one-shot it with the Conkers. It's because this thing had hit it in the front a couple times or whatever. So yeah, then I get this back in here and then he surrenders. He's just too far behind on the trades. But if he'd played slower, reconstituted himself, you know, got his OSAs so that every time I use the planes he can kill me, like that I suppose, then late game would be his. But, you know, it's hard when I'm on this side and I get all the high rises and stuff. So he's good. His rank's usually higher than that. Anyway, we'll move on to the last example, which is against tmanplays. Right, so here we are against tmanplays, and he's playing 6th US. Now, 6th US, you would think, bad div on this map, but it's not. I've lost tournament games to people playing 6th US on this map, and they attacked me here. So that's why I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I don't always guess wrong. So I've actually put guys over here as well, so I guess I guessed wrong. Anyway, the problem with facing 6th US is that it gets what might be the best air tab in the game. I suppose Erster at the moment, its air tab is better. And yeah, my AA doesn't have the range. I don't get cups. So this is actually a really big problem. And most of my tanks can't survive a 30 AP missile, which he does get. So it's very difficult to fight 6th US. But, you know, he has the problem that he's trying to push over open ground. But yeah, he's a lot stronger in the early game than me because of the airborne forward deployment. But the main issue is the planes. I really struggle against the planes. And so, yes, he's attacking here, and I should have seen that coming. So, I don't know why there's 2 tanks here. Whatever, I always guess wrong. So the scout dies to the KPVT because they're really good against 4 HP helicopters. And yeah, I'm like, okay, there's the SEALs, and I start sending reinforcements. Yeah, it's just going to be a slog again, because it makes sense for him to attack here, because he's infantry, and, you know, he's got these kind of close-range, high-pen tanks, and like, these are very cheap, so in the early game he can buy 4, and I can buy 2. So it's literally, yeah, it's perfectly 80 times 4 versus 160 times 2. It's the same. It's 320, if you're wondering. Anyway, I only brought 1 Igla, so here's 2 hogs. The Navy SEALs are in the open, and they were wounded the whole time coming over there. You know, getting shot by grenade launchers and stuff. So the Razvedka Saperi is doing pretty good because of that, basically. Obviously, if in a 1v1 this would lose. Did you notice I loaded the Conkers up into the BTR-60 and brought it back so it wouldn't die, keeping it out of the LOS of the Navy SEALs so they didn't hit it with the AT? I hope you noticed that. These get one-shot side shot by Conkers. And you'll notice I've sent this over just to try and hit the infantry as it comes out. So I figure, okay, there's not going to be many people here. There's actually less than I was expecting, because obviously he's put everybody in here. So this is a church, so if you want to survive, you can, you know... if you want to shoot further, you can put it there, but I think he landed that. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, there's nobody here, so I'll just attack over here now. But he is attacking over here with a big mess of units, and if you... Honestly, this is the bad side for a reason. If you get pushed out of Paul, if you get pushed out of the end of Paul, this is just a big open field, so you can't get back in. It's an absolute horror show. Depends on the matchup, right? If you're forward deployed, then that usually doesn't happen to you, and, you know, you might lose over here. It's very difficult to fight like this. You know, and he's got these buildings, so he shoots you, and... It is what it is. I'm on this side half of the time, and I'm on this side half of the time. But I'm just showing you why things are the way they are. So we try and get some Conkers to try and get, you know, flanking fire, right? One back here, one back here. We know his tanks don't have the range. He gets TOW2s and stuff. And yeah, we're pushing in mid, because there's just nobody there. We send the Conkers round, and we've got an OSA and the Potok and all this. Resvet could be in P1, so the tanks can see... And yeah, something very, very interesting happens here. And he did stream this game. I went and watched it after the game, and he was actually doing this on purpose. I didn't notice at the time. So when you hit, as we saw against the last guy, right? Because he just came into LOS there, he re-aims on the other tank. Or it's about to happen. Look, this is where he makes the decision. So I'm about to kill this, but then he re-aims onto this, and then he just goes out of the LOS so that I re-aim. And then he comes back in, and then I re-aim again. So, yeah, because of this thing behind when things get to 0 cohesion, they become zero dangerousness. Anyway, I should have chased this 100%, because I go forwards faster than he goes backwards on account of the speed difference and the fact that he's low cohesion, but I didn't chase this, so most of these make it out, and that ends up becoming a big problem later. But yeah, that was that really jogs your noggin. So you got to right click, but if you right click, it starts moving, even if it's in range. The Potok got hit by the Pathfinders because I couldn't see him because this is only good optics, which is why you need the BRDM2. So we lose the CV here as well. So it's all to play for, but we've stopped him from killing us. But you know, 240 points there left on the table. I just assumed there'd be loads of ATGMs back here, but there was only one, and I could have hidden behind stuff. It was just foolish of me, because that ends up becoming a big problem later. Anyway, we forced the unloads, and yeah, I guess this suppressed me or something. So yeah, he's got the seed and the cluster thing. It's very, very hard to deal with that. It obviously costs a lot. He knows about this because he just shot it. So I think I saw the seed because I've got the fighter up and everything. So I switch off the radar. Or I'm just like, he has seed. He will probably, it was played a while ago, so I don't remember. It is on the current patch, though. So I'm hitting this tower because an ATGM fired from there. But, these things aren't great at max range, so it misses, and then he moves. And here he comes, so the seed is first, the cluster is behind. I gotta wait, because I don't want to get hit, so switch it back on. And then I gotta switch it off again because seed, he gets my make with the eagle, and then it died anyway. I didn't switch it off fast enough. There seems to be like even if you switch it off and keep moving, you can still die. So I lost the Osa, and I lost the MiG-29, and I lost the Igla. I don't know, something else, and I didn't get any of his stuff. So that's not good. Yeah, 60 US air spam. This div is weak to air spam. That's why I bring 4 cards of AA or whatever it is, 2 cards Osas, 1 card Bruiser, 1 card Igla, and 2 cards of fighters, because that's your key weakness. So we know about this because it's shooting at me. But yeah, I guess it's just too far away. Like, it doesn't cost a lot, so you can't expect great things. I'd have to hit him twice. I've not hit him once. Yeah, so I do start trying to bring it forwards. Anyway, so, obviously I'm ticking up, but he wants to buy his air and, try and get back in here, basically. Not killing these was a really big mistake, but, we're both in the top 10, I think. I mean, it moves around a lot. If you notice this, he keeps, like, running and smoking and running and smoking. I mean, it's not going to help, because sooner or later he's going to run out, but I guess he should have gone backwards. Oh, that's why he did it, so he could get the T-64. He got the other thing. He wounded the T-64, because I was moving, so he didn't hit me dead on there. Also, they are small bombs, those. It's just like loads of small bombs, so it's got like a 6-minute reload. I feel you kind of have to buy it so that you can hit the, the AA or whatever, I suppose. So, we got this here, and sadly we did miss, but we were suppressed in all this. These are at no vet, so he actually gets a lot more than you would think. He gets 8, I think. Still trying to hit that, but they're not actually in there. And yeah, this is just such a ball ache. So we're trying to push, but yeah, I'm getting hit by these tanks, which I didn't kill. But we are making progress. We got a 50 cal squad, and then, right, here you go again. Right, so he's trying to hit the Osa, which he saw with this. So you notice I've got it switched off, and I've got it on the road, fast moving on the road, because it goes at 100 kilometers an hour, so it gets there a lot faster. The MiG-29, I shot him with, yes, but, the Eagle, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do send him in, actually, because there's 2 of them. That's the RT. So, yeah, fast move, turn off thing. Sadly, oh, okay. It didn't drop, but it wouldn't have killed me. It would have just got the conkers, because that's not where I was, so... and then, yeah, we keep it on the road, turn off the things, and get ready to fast move it again. The air bully this game was very, very, very real. That's the main takeaway from this example, is dealing with the air spam. You've got to be very careful with your OSAs. So if you're not aware of this already, you can hotkey them all by shift, click, shift, click, shift, click, and then you do control 1, and then when you hit 1, it selects them all. Obviously that doesn't work in the spectate mode. And then you press H to turn off the weapons. You got to press H for hold fire. And then you can switch them all off when the seed comes, and then you can do fancy footwork and all this by just clicking fast. So he's coming in for this, but you notice the seed's behind, so I can't, you know, sort it out. So we do move, but we lose the BRM 1k, and then you see I switch these back on because I'm paying attention to the seed. And then he's flying over my OSAs. My OSAs are many vetted, and then I switch them back off because the seed's there. And then he kills that one anyway, even though it's switched off. So I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe I switched it back on. I might have switched it back on. So, and we didn't kill the eagles, even though we had the 3 OSAs and the Igler and the 2 fires. We didn't actually get the eagles, they both just got hit. So, it becomes a problem as the game goes late, and as you can see, this one's going the distance. You notice I'm just, you know, trying to... as soon as he shoots that, he moves, because he doesn't want to lose it to the RT. We did get those. We got one of those 3 tanks over here. We got one of them here. This would one-shot that, but sadly we... do we hit him on the next one? Yeah, we do. And so he's buying the RT so he can hit the AA again. I've got everything a growing boy needs here. AA, recon, and anti-tank. Obviously if an infantry unit walks towards me, that's going to be a bit more of an issue. So we buy a grenade launcher. Wow, truly inspirational. And you see I keep trying to hit these ATGMs. I've got 2 of them now. And so do we get him, or... Well, that's a shame. Yeah, we just missed. We hit him once in however many shots. That's a shame. These have 20% ECM. It's worth thinking about. Wait, the first one missed. So yeah, we've got it behind the building with the radar off on the road. So we switch this back on to try and hit that, but he's going for the tank, right? Is this on? It is, but it wasn't fast enough. So he did actually get it that time, and we miss him again. They've all got 20% ECM, but it is what it is. Both sides complain about RNG, right? My RNG was bad. It saves both sides in every game, so... Yeah, still trying to kill this guy. Maybe we'll get him eventually. Who knows? So we can see... Oh, we do! Cause, yeah, we can see him moving around. The recoilless rifle's a big issue, but, you know, here's not enough rockets to do anything, apparently. He does have these, but he hasn't unloaded them. These are switched off because of the seed. If only I had cubs, but, you know, obviously then then this wouldn't be the 94th guide, was it? So now I have to move it because, oh, look, now he's RTing it. That does have like 60% ECM. And the OSA I'm trying to get around to shoot the hog now, because this one-shots that. And there's nowhere he can go now, so... that does dodge. So that's nice. Or it must have got hit once and the next one missed, because obviously its health has gone somewhere. So yeah, he's going for the OSA, so as soon as you shoot, you gotta move. And, you know, I'm on a +2, but... he's got the air spam, and I'm not killing them. Have you noticed they're not dying? Not killing either of those eagles before was a big issue. So, at least we're getting that. But now he's got the stinger there, so that won't work next time. Ow. And yeah, I'm struggling to get people back in here. I suppose once he takes this, that's really the big deal. So here we go again. This is actually almost out of ammo. What's it going for? Yeah, it's a mistake, right? He didn't get me. Although, because it's routing, it doesn't reverse, it actually just turns. Or it is reversing, but it was facing Whatever, man. He's doing his best impression of dying here. Definitely could have got out if it'd been manually controlled. You gotta watch which direction things are facing when you want to get out of somewhere quick, because if you give it a click order, then it has to turn all the way around, and low cohesion makes them turn slower, so that makes it take even longer. But that's the route for you. You know, it happens to everybody. So we're trying to hit this. He's not counter batterying me, but he's got the 105s and the 155s. Unlike the ones in 101st Airborne, they don't get vetted for free or whatever. M119. Is that the British one? No, I think it is the American one. The L118. Because there's another 105, the one that 81st Airborne gets, 82nd Airborne gets. So, you know, it's not like we don't know where he is here, but we're really struggling from a lack of supply, and we can't reinforce because he's put this in here. And then it's like, well, what do we do? Because now this is going to... oh, it's out of ammo. Well, that's nice. Get shot till you run out of ammo. Oh, crap. So there's a big air wave coming in now. And, you know, I'm trying to attack here. You know, I'll push him out here. Right? Big attack. Honestly, I should be sitting on my arse more. So Seed, AT, 2 Eagles. So the Eagles soak as well. Like, there's only one OSA. So sadly we don't hit him. This was switched off though. It could have got 2 shots off there, even 3 or 4, even 6 or 7. 6, 7. Haha. Wow. You know the joke's over when the boomers start saying it. I'm a 29-year-old boomer, so... Anyway, you notice these target switch as well. But yeah, we're behind the building, so you can't actually hit us. There is LOS there. We're right behind that building. But we do get that AT playing, which is nice. And we are sort of pushing him out of here, but he's got all the ATGMs, and I can't really see him, and all this. Anyway, we bought the Grad to try and hit the 105s. I believe I get both of them. The Grad is super useful. It does kind of save this game, even though I said, oh, I've taken it out now for the BRDM2. It does kind of save this game. You'll see as the game goes on. So that's all 40 rounds. Please tell me they both die. I mean, they're toad. Just depends where they hit, right? Yeah, it looks like one of them's going to make it. That's the issue with my tanks. They get one shot by those AT planes. Which I can't hit, apparently. Oh no! All you got to do is complain more, and then you'll get more hits. Oh, I didn't complain enough. I got 2 shot by Stingers. That's vetted because he got the kill. You expect me to win that fight? So, yeah, pushing here was a big mistake. I should have just sat on my arse more, or at least cleared this out, and then maybe come over here and sorted this, as opposed to going over here, because it's just your standard... You know, you got to expect this if you're winning. Your opponent really only has one option. Well, he could surrender. Your opponent really only has one option, and that's to fall back in good order, reconstitute his forces, and go again, right? Or go around the sides, attack somewhere else, stuff like that. But the idea is, you know, he's going to bait you into an overextension. Like, that's basically the only thing that is going to happen. Either he surrenders, or he tries to bait you into an overextension. So here I am overextending. And, yeah, I've got AA, but there's always so many planes, right? And I should right-click this so it doesn't change targets to the Eagles, although I think the Eagles have just gone out of vision. Oh, I miss anyway. Okay, well, what can I say? And then, yeah, it goes out, so it re-aims onto the... So have you noticed I'm still not killing them? It's a really big issue. This guy was the one who came in the helo, but I unloaded the helo, right? So because I don't know what AA is over here, and this has been getting shot at, so... Try and use the Oyster again, it one-shots Cobras, it's very good against those. Very good against helicopters, that's what it's for, basically. In-game, I don't know about real life and all this. So I put this in front, but this has a higher dangerousness, so if they're both in range... And look, you know, I'm moving, but I think he... Alright, oh, I think he changed target last second or something. I'm not sure what happened there. If it had dropped there, would it have got me? Because it was slightly off, but it might have still killed me, I don't know. It might have still killed me, because he was dropping it there, and I'm pretty sure he changed it to this, because it started shooting it with the gun, and then obviously it can't turn in time, so it goes all the way around. I believe that's what happened, otherwise it would always drop there, in my experience. I don't know what else it could be. This was slightly over, it would shoot this, so that would be super useful. But yeah, we're back on that +2. The planes are a really big issue there. But yeah, imagine if I hadn't attacked here, I'd have so many more units. And this goes back to that thing about Grad versus BRDM2. If I had the BRDM2s, they would come around and try and shoot these, and, you know, they don't have direct fire. He would have sent a helo or something. Or you can use the Grad, but, you know, he's not moving. If it was self-propelled, the Grad doesn't usually get it. It gets it sometimes, but not others. The, like, 336Y gets, like, a vetted Grad by default, so if you put a CV next to it, it's 2 vet, and then it almost always gets them. You might get an unlucky RNG, like this is still alive, that sort of thing. So, you see he's got the cluster behind, so that he can bait with the seed and then drop the cluster. But, for whatever reason, I don't know if I moved, or if he just dropped it in the wrong place there. So yeah, you got to be very careful with your AA, but once again, we don't kill them. So they'll be back in 5 minutes. We're just not killing them, it's a really big issue. So we have the arty, and what happened to my Grad? Did I cancel the shot or something, or why isn't he shooting? So he thinks the CV's there, or he's just aiming for this. And yes, the game goes on. We're trying to hit the C... Yeah, because his CV, we knew it was there, we saw it come in. It was probably this guy that was in here, you know, it's probably in there and he saw it come in. Or it could have been this, would have seen it come by and then stop there. And we also have a guy in this... Well, I suppose that wouldn't see. Where's that Grad? Yes, here we go. So, super useful again. Oh, I lose the OSA to Arty. Completely unforgivable. Completely unforgivable, because I should be moving it after every shot, so that shouldn't be happening. So it's just because I was looking over here, sniping his CV and all this, so... I believe we get both of these, because I think they stopped shooting me at this point. Obviously if I had a CV next to this Grad, it would aim faster and so on, but he's not moving, so... Yeah, okay. Pray more. Yeah, anyway. Just can't deal with the AA. So you can strafe those and just rely on... Well, to be honest, that was really dumb of him, but... I guess he didn't know the Briusa was there because the Osa's just died and the Briusa hadn't shot yet, and he didn't know about this Niggler, so he was just going on this one. But, you know, I could pop my smoke here, but I'm stunned, so... yeah. Lose a lot of my HP. Shouldn't scratch my nose while I'm doing these, Look, I'm fading into green or whatever. So yes, he does eventually push me out of here. You know, I just... It's just the planes, man. So, it's not like his ground component can beat my ground component. Although, you know, obviously he gets loads of ATGMs, and this is airport and all this. Do I get out in time? I'm making a play here. I do. So, we saw that go in there with the last of this lot. But it's only one thing. Anyway, so here I make a big mistake. So I'm like, okay, so he needs points to win. And I should have defended here. But instead I'm like, oh, he might come over here. So I put half of them here and half of them here. Or at least most of them here. Most of the reinforcements. And that was a big mistake. Anyway, we finally got that 105. The 155 should follow soon. So we're having another go at this. The idea is, well, the ATGMs are over here. You know, I've got a unit here, so I can attack this kind of middle area between the two. And, but yeah, I've got no units on the left, because I put them all on the right. Look, I just put way too much on this side, and that costs me dearly, because of course he would attack here. That's what he did last time, and that's where he's stronger, because he's got a bunch of infantry with recoilless rifles, so he doesn't want to be... He can defend here just fine. But yeah, well, once again he gets out. Apparently I didn't have enough igloos, but I didn't die, so that's nice. So this was a huge mistake. If all this was here, well, you'd never get in, but this is a big weakness with being on this side of the map. You're just so vulnerable here. Because you can easily get from there to there, and then you can get to here, and then what a big open field. So I saw the CV, so I put all the RT on it at once. I had it all in like return fire and stuff. So I know this crad's a bit temperamental. But yeah, all the RT put together still don't kill the CV, so that's cool. Synchronized shot from 3 howitzers and a grad, don't... okay. And yeah, I tried to heli-born a guy, but there were stingers, so... Yeah, and then I try attacking here, but I've forgotten the original lesson, because I'm panicking, which is that there's 80 GMs here, so these guys need to be here, pushing this way. Yeah, so that was the killer mistake. The killer mistake was putting the reinforcements here, instead of putting them here. Expecting the attack to be here instead of here. Why would it be here? He's got 10 minutes and I'm 1,300 points above him, so... He is making a lot of mistakes, like he's losing guys in the transports. These aren't cheap, so... That's 60 points. So we've still got this position, and our tanks are pretty good. We don't have AA here. It's sort of story of my life, right? It's just so many planes the whole time. 2 tanks together. Although he kind of missed. I was going forward so that the prediction, it'll drop in front of you because you're going forward. So you can do that to bait out bombers. You can go forwards and then stop, and then once the bomb's released, go back. It's hard to get the timing right. I'm trying to use the SU rockets just to evac his planes. Oh no, I went for the tow cobra, didn't I? Because yeah, I'm out of AA. He sniped all of it. This attack's not going anywhere. So I realised, okay, that was a waste. Because yeah, if I'd done it here, well, I would have been in, you know, as the original plan was. But panicking too much, or I could have just brought them over, because this fight's still happening. What can I say? Big newbie. And now we have the problem, which is that we can't get into our own zone. So yes, mistakes have been made, and the other issue with attacking across this field is like the bomber is going to kill this tank, so... Yeah, and I can't really use my planes because of the eagle. Like this, right. And I'm out of Osus. I've got a couple of Briusas left, and that's and some Iglas, and that's it. I lost all 4 of the 2 vet Osus, so... Like that, because I've come across people, like, on the 6th West German guide, there was a guy who was like, I mean, he was probably joking, right, but he was like, good thing you didn't put enough AA in this deck. And it's because he literally just never switched off his, the game's on the channel. He just never switched off his AA for the whole game, and I just hit it all with seed. So yeah, if that's you, downvet your AA. And maybe it's me, but... This is a very specific case coming into... If it was a tournament game, yes, I would have downvoted my AA, knowing it's 6 US, but, you know, this isn't something that happens very often. So I could have switched that back on. You see he's going for the mortar, and you see we've still got the grad. And, you know, we're getting some nice kills there, actually. We got like 4 units, but, like, was this the last CV? No, he's got more. But yeah, this is that one from before, if you recall. He's got the Humvee towed 2s up everywhere, and I can't really deal with that. I'm just very exposed. Can't get back in because of the map weakness, basically. He's still going on that mortar, he does get that. But yeah, I mean, it's 7 minutes, so we can still win at this point. And yeah, I just can't fucking move, man. It's very difficult. I got the CV though, that's nice. And if that hadn't got it, that definitely would have, because it had less than 1 HP. Yeah, I guess he's not using this. But yeah, we lose the tank, try and get the infantry in. It's just about buying time now, because there's nothing I can do. now that these are here, well, we try and snipe him with arty. I do try, but he's got a big advantage now, because everybody's just getting shot in the open. And he's still got those bombers, so the bombers can come back. It's a tough gig being on this side, blimey. Yeah, so the idea is basically, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have the grad on return fire. I'm waiting for a CV to come in, and then I'll hit it with the grad. That is dead, but it was dead anyway. I don't know what I could have done there. Yeah, he'd be... I guess he could have stayed there and then died now, as opposed to then. It wouldn't have made a big difference, because he hasn't actually set the CV yet. Yeah, just being on this side is bollocks. But, you know, he needs 1,300 points, which he can still get, because it's 40 times the number of minutes, times by the score. So if he's on a +4, you see I'm trying to use the... And I switch off the bombs, so that I can hit him with one and then hit him with the other, but I get evac'd by the stinger, so... And I wouldn't get it a second chance anyway, because of the eagle, but I still killed what I was going at, so it's sort of... I didn't lose anything for trying that. Yeah. Guess I could have switched these to smoke, but this is like the only way I can really impact things. And he's got 3 smoke mortars now. This is still up, he's actually using it again. Must be on auto fire or something. Trying to get that recon. I'm just throwing things in now. I mean, I know that's not going to survive 2 eagles and however many stingers are there, but... Just trying to buy time. And there you go, so there's the smoke. I guess he can strafe that with the eagle again. He's going for the Razved Kasaperi. This is the current patch, so that the nerfed plane guns still do a lot of damage. It was a good change, actually. I'm a big fan of that. So he's trying to arty that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I saw the Humvee coming. I don't know how, but I definitely did see it. Because then I released the return fire on the grad. And then the Humvee gets in, and the grad bullets are already coming in. So, he gets killed. He didn't react fast enough. So I try and send out all my planes at once to try and accomplish anything. And now I can get this back in, and that will buy me more time. Obviously this is an issue. Because these have the side missiles, so they can sort of be pseudo-ASFs. I mean, they're obviously not very good at it. He dropped a cluster on me, so it's infantry. If it was a vehicle, I'd be dead, right? These carry a lot of bullets, so he can easily intercept this. But I'm running out of ideas here, frankly. Yeah, so... At this point, he can't win. He can't win at this point, because it's... got the calculator out. 40 times by 3 times by 4 is 480 points. So... he would need to get in over here as well. Once again, those small cluster bombs don't always get these 3 top armor tanks. So he gets in, and I still had the AT plane, so I send the rocket thing forwards just to scout for it, and I know it's got 20% ECM, and it has to get hit twice. So I'm pretty confident it can make it, and I suppose it gets hit immediately, but... So yeah, and also the grad... So the grad's coming in, the AT plane's coming in, the rocket helo's scouting for it, and the grad's, you know, and the tube RT, so we did actually end up killing that. And then he surrenders because, you know, the ticker's actually stopped at that point. So there you go, 94th. Really, as you can see, his KD was a lot higher. Rank 6, rank 9. We've been playing as much as each other recently, actually. Usually he has more games. I only have 100. My profile got reset, right? So, in conclusion, 94th Y is not that good. Just not that good. Why wouldn't you play 20th Motshutson that does all the same things but better? It gets the same tanks, and it gets Cubs, and it gets airborne forward deployment. And it gets Motshutson. And Reservist and Spam, and the Napalm Grad. It's better than the regular grad. So why wouldn't you play that? I mean, that's the long and short of it. If you want to play this, you can. The one advantage it has over 20th is that it gets late game 1 card, or 2 if you bring this, I suppose, of late game tanks. But yeah, the idea is you open with the cheapo tanks with a couple Osas. The Osas are at 2 vet. If you're bad, down vet them, but they're at 2 vet for a reason. And you just kind of force the issue in like the kind of 1 to 5 minute range, and then you get a pine, and you know if you get to a town, you got the coffin launchers. There's really it's honestly because they both came out in the same DLC. It is the most clear cut version I've ever seen of I'm you but stronger. It 20th doesn't get this, but yeah, 20th is just better. And yeah, I swapped out the grad for the BRDM2s. You don't have to do that. It's just the grad, kind of a bit cumbersome. The BRDM2s have other uses, sending them around the sides and being annoying, which I personally really like doing. But you can see that the grad got a lot of kills, and it actually saved me in that last game against Tima. So yeah, you can do whatever you like. You also get 5, whatever, the rocket healers, but 20th East German gets 4 Hinds in the recon tab. And then it gets, 80 gem healers, which you don't get. So I hope you enjoyed this like 3 hour long video. The conclusion of it is don't play this.